Hey. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the stream. This is a very special episode of JavaScript, the game we have for you today. We have a special guest with us. We're joined by Andor Saga, a developer from Toronto. Andor, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can everyone hear you? Let me know in the chat if anyone can't.
Yeah. I'm like basically a front end developer, but I had a lot of experience with like games and real time processing and data visualization, things like that.
And it's pretty clear that you're in a coffee shop right now.
I am in a coffee shop. Yeah.
Cool. I think that's going to add to the ambiance of today. It's going to give us kind of a more casual feel for our conversation. So that's going to be nice. So we're going to be working in P5 today. So that's kind of what we have set up over here. This is basically just what they have on the... Well, okay, actually, let's take a step back here. If you were to go to p5js.org, what you'll see is this. And let me just put that in the chat for anyone who wants to take a look at that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to start and we're going to get started. So we've got this sample HTML page. We basically just copied that in. So I guess we want a sketch.js, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's do that. So I'll make a new file. And what do we want to put in this?
So we want to start with like so the way processing works is that it has a setup and a draw, and setup is going to be all our initialization stuff happens once.
And these are functions you're talking about, right?
Yeah, they're just JavaScript functions. So we're going to have like a function set up.
So should I put that in there? Is that what you're suggesting? Okay. So something like this, right? Set up and then one for draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in the so if you actually run this now, it might even give you like a blank canvas.
Okay. Well, let's take a look. So
if it doesn't, then
yeah, it looks like we got a canvas.
Yeah, okay. So it throws one in there for you, so which is pretty nice. But usually with p5.js, we want to do like a full screen kind of deal. Okay. So in our setup function, we'll have a create canvas.
Just the command create canvas, like camel case.
Yeah, camel case. And then we'll have, as parameters, we'll have window width.
Like window.width?
No, just window width camel case.
Oh, okay. That's like a built-in sort of thing then, or?
Yeah, it's a built-in. It deviates a bit from the pure processing specification, but like they introduced it, but it's pretty useful. And then window window height.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then
sorry, just before we go any further, when we say pure processing, do you mean like as opposed to P5 or?
Yeah. So there's P5 or processing, which was I guess the first and to be introduced as a data visualization language and like an educational tool. And then it later got ported to JavaScript, which actually I was part of that team to create processing.js. And then another bunch of researchers at I think it's at MIT. No, I think it's at NYU, but anyways, these other developers basically forked that and created p5.js. So right now we're working in p5.js.
Right.
And it's it's similar. It has basically the same API, but then because it's not Java, it's JavaScript. There's some concessions that have been made. Some convenience functions that have been added, and some things that have been changed a bit. So it's not exactly processing compliant, but it gives us the flexibility of allowing us to access the canvas element, which is great.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're interested in. So we've got our canvas here, and this is basically just going to make it like the dimensions of our full screen window here. Is that the idea?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So if I were to save this then, or actually was there more stuff? Oh yeah, I see that now, eh? Okay, but wait, is this kind of spilling over? I notice it has this like little margin at the top there, right?
Yeah, we can throw some CSS in there to clear that up.
We should probably do that, eh?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, so how do we do this again? I always forget. We want a CSS file, but it's like link or something like that. Is that what
Yeah,
we want to do,
link
right?
relation
Style
rel style
sheet.
sheet.
Yeah.
If we want to be cool, type equals text CSS,
Wait,
and
what?
then
Oh, wait, over here?
no, like
Or
the next
over here?
attribute,
Yeah,
the next
text.
type is equal to type instead of
Type?
text
Oh, okay, sorry.
is equal to text slash CSS.
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
not really sure why we do that, but we do it. And then
It is making us pretty cool though, right?
and then the href.
Yeah, which is going to be like, I guess, style.css or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then do we need to close this or?
Yeah, it's a self-closing.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll put in our style.css. Whew, okay, and I guess I'll just do like a little reset thing, right? Margin 0, padding 0.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So if I resize this then, like if I were to like close the inspector or even just, let's say, move this, is that going to change the size of our guy?
Yeah, we'll have to put an event for that, I think.
Oh,
But
I see what you mean.
There
Okay.
is like a non-resize if we want to do that. Yeah.
Right. So like over here now, it's not. Yeah. Okay. Cool. ATD285 says, I always found that weird too. If you're doing React in a script tag, you type/Babel. Is that necessary or is it just like?
I don't know. Like I always found that it worked without, but I think if you want to like conform to the proper W3C like
Specification?
spec,
Yeah.
then you have to put it in.
I gotcha. Okay, cool. So, well, now that we got that out of the way, let's go over to sketch.js. There's other stuff that we wanted to put in here, right? Like, we're not done yet?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like it's refreshing it with like a white background. So
Yeah.
in our draw function,
Mhm.
we can do like a background. It's called background,
Okay.
and open parentheses and just put in 0.
Sure.
And
So-
then, so the cool thing with processing is that you can use shorthands. So if you don't want to specify red, green, and blue, like 3 values separated with comma, you can just use 1 value, and it's going to use that. It's going to use a grayscale.
Right, so this would be the same as this then, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And
But if I wanted, I could do an RGB, like I could.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to put a funny color in there, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. I don't know how funny this color is going to be. Oh, it's pretty funny. All right, cool. Maybe let's just sort of like, let's make it 60 for now or something so it's not totally black. Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
I guess we could try to match this gray over here, but yeah, it's fine like this. All right, so please continue. What are we doing next over here?
So yeah, so like the draw function gets called, like probably 30 or I think 30 times a second.
Yeah.
So now we have that going on. What are we building? What do you want to do? Like
Okay, so let's make a paddle game.
okay.
All right, let's do something like this, okay? Here, I'm gonna sketch it out. So let's choose a sick color. Yeah, white's a sick color. Okay, so let's have a paddle or something like that, okay? It's gonna be like our avatar. Can you see that okay, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's make this guy like movable in 2 dimensions, okay? So like we'll have a left and a right
Right.
movement, but then let's also have an up and a down. Or like kind of an up diagonal, as I just drew here. But anyway, yeah, that's meant to be up. So yeah, we'll have our guy like totally movable. So unlike an Arkanoid or like a Pong or something like that, this guy will be like able to move around. And then we'll have guys coming from like the top of the screen or something like that.
Awesome.
and they'll be moving toward us. Maybe they'll be firing some projectiles or something like that. But all the while, we'll have to sort of balance receiving this like moving ball thing, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I think ultimately, if we're getting really ambitious here, it would be cool to do something where, okay, so first of all, the ball should bounce off the paddle.
Yeah.
The ball should gain some of the momentum of the paddle, and I'm thinking there should be some kind of battle going on between us and these guys over here. You know, we don't
Right.
want to let them by. Okay.
Right. Right.
So we have to destroy them or something like that, or you know, something like that. We've got to make them our friends, or like, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll shoot some stuff at them, and I think, look, if I'm talking about what would be ideal, if we could shoot the ball too.
Okay. And wait, shoot it and what? Give it like a different speed, or
Yeah,
I mean,
have that
velocity
alter
of it?
its trajectory. So like if you
Cool.
shoot it,
Yeah.
have that like make it bounce off, or like yeah.
All right.
spin
Awesome.
around or
Yeah.
something.
Sounds fun. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're going to be doing that, I guess it might make sense to talk really briefly about like the structure of processing,
Yeah.
which
let's do
is
it.
yeah. So processing is a state system, which means when you want to like color like something, you'll say, okay, stroke, and then you'll give it a color, and then everything you draw after that command will be basically using that color.
So that sounds
and
a
the
lot
same-
like working with a canvas.
Yeah. So
Is essentially, I guess, what we're
Canvas
doing,
has
right?
like the same idea. Yeah, exactly. Um, Also, the coordinate system is top left. So I
So
like I
zero
find that,
zeros up here.
yeah, 0 0 is up there. I find it's really important, like every time I'm working with a new like graphics API, to know where the origin is.
Does it tend to differ a lot depending on the API?
Sometimes it's lower left, sometimes it's top left. It really depends. And processing is a state system, and there's a lot of really cool stuff we can do with like transformations. But like we're gonna like kind of like explore that as we go.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess the we got to make sure I'm not lying. So let's draw a rectangle at 0 0 and see if it actually is the top left.
Okay.
Um,
So we're gonna do that in the draw function, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So we'll do rect rect,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do like so it takes 4 arguments, so x, y, width, and height. So
Gotcha.
if we plug in 0 0 and I don't know, like 50 50, 100 100, yeah.
Do we need
That's
to give it
good,
a
yeah.
color too as an argument, or
So it's gonna
Or do
use
we
like a
set
default
that?
color with like, I think it's gonna be like a white fill with like a black background, a black border.
okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hard to
All
see
right.
if there's a black border there, but definitely I see the white fill.
And if you notice that like it's
There we go.
the rectangle is aligned with like the top left of the canvas,
Yeah.
we can change that. Processing has this really fun like mechanism to change where we want to draw rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to do like, if we want to say 0 0 is actually the center of the rectangle, we can do rect mode. So
Above it,
RECT.
or
Yeah, just above it.
okay.
Rect mode, and then uppercase center.
Inside, like
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, it's a keyword. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And you can say that. So I mean, it really depends on how you want to do your transformations.
Mm-hmm.
I find that like it's great to just stick with one and use that, because sometimes when you're doing like collision or checking boundaries, it gets annoying. Well, like, oh, am I drawing objects relative to the top left of them, or are we drawing from the center, or what?
Yeah. Yeah. I can
But it's
vouch
just,
that can get annoying.
Yeah, so it's just good to know that you have that flexibility for where you want to draw or how you want to draw your shapes.
Yeah, so like basically so far in terms of what I'm seeing, it feels like it's a lot like our typical canvas interaction, but with nicer syntax.
Yeah, so I know I only know a tiny bit of Canvas. Most of like the work I do is in processing.
Right.
I believe you, but,
Just
but
compared
yeah,
to
I
like when
mean,
we were working on our in the zone game, I felt like we were doing a lot of the same sort of stuff, but just a lot more complicated. You know, more lines to do,
okay,
more
yeah,
syntax to deal with. But yeah, okay. So let's keep going with this stuff.
cool, yeah. So in terms of like the rec mode, since we only need to call it once, we can move it in the setup function.
Okay. Could you give us a brief explanation of like the difference between the setup and the draw function? You mentioned that
Yeah,
draw
yeah, of
gets called
course.
every frame, right?
Yeah, setup. You want to put any kind of code that just happens once,
Mm-hmm.
um, and draw gets called repeatedly. So we're gonna in our draw function, we're gonna clear the entire canvas, and then we're gonna draw all our sprites, all like our paddle and our bullets and our enemies and everything.
Yeah. So then, I mean, okay, first of all, does setup just like does it get called before the first call of draw?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think I think the API says that it's guaranteed to be called once at least before any draw gets called. That way we can make sure like all our variables get set up properly.
But we
There's
could put.
actually
Oh, sir, go ahead.
there's also a preload function for like preloading any assets we want to download.
So like if we
But
wanted to put an image in or something like that.
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so then like this background thing, could I just throw that in the setup? Like if I plan on keeping the background the same the whole
Yeah.
time?
So what we can do is what can be like a fun exercise is throw that background into setup.
This is gonna be a fun exercise, I can
Oh
tell.
man, yeah. And then instead of the 0 0 in the rect call,
Yeah.
we're gonna do like a mouse X mouse Y.
Oh boy. Like that?
Exactly, yeah.
That's
And
nice.
save that
Mousy.
and test that out.
Okay. This is like when you win solitaire, right? Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, very nice. Okay. So I think I understand then why you're maybe suggesting that we put this in here. Yeah, that's a little more tolerable. Okay, cool. So I mean, already we have something kind of neat here, right? This
Yeah.
feels like pretty interactable. This would be a good thing for like if you wanted a website where you had like a pop-up ad. That would be a nice thing if you really wanted someone to click on it, right? Just have it follow your cursor wherever they go.
Exactly.
All right. Let's keep going with this stuff. What else should we know about this? Well, actually, let me ask you a question. So, and if I'm jumping the gun here, just let me know. But we've got mouse controls, which I can see are very straightforward to do. But what about keyboard controls? If I wanted to move around this thing via the keyboard, are we gonna have to bust open some event listeners and stuff like that, or?
There's a few ways to do it. So we can do it with event listeners.
Mm-hmm.
There is like a key typed and a key pressed and a key released,
Okay. Yeah.
but we can also do it. So I think that's yeah. So that's with events, but we can also do like polling, which is just every frame ask, "Hey, is this key down?"
Yeah.
And we can do it that way. In which case, in our draw function, we'd say, if I think the function is like key is pressed, and you pass in like a keyword. I'd have to take a look at the like documentation, but it's something like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, we don't have to do that right away, but that's I want to plant the seed on that anyway. That's something we'd maybe eventually want to do.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
It's definitely possible.
All right.
Or I mean, we can also the great thing about p5.js is that we can stick any arbitrary JavaScript we want right in there. So we don't technically have to do it the p5.js way. If we have our own snippets of code that we really like, we can just put those in there and like hook those events up as well.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to sort of ask about. So, like, we can just put any arbitrary JS we want. Like, it's not going to interfere with any of the stuff that processing has going on here.
No, not at all. And like,
Okay.
so if in the draw function, you can put like a console log, which I do like frequently for debugging,
Yeah.
and we can do like a frame rate, or get
Frame
all
rate,
those.
just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's give that a try, and we'll see what the console is saying. Wait, it's not saying anything. Did I just? Oh, did I not reload the page? There we go. Okay, so frame rate is like an object, or
Oh, is
a
it saying it's an
function, or-
object? It might be a function. I know that in processing, there's like a frame count and a frame rate, and they're both just variables. But I think p5.js, they changed it to a function that you have to call.
Let's give that a try. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So the frame rate is hovering around 60 there.
Perfect.
Yeah. Good. That's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So yeah, I think that definitely shows that we can just sort of put whatever JavaScript we want in there, right?
Right. Exactly.
We probably wouldn't want to put something like an alert in here, right?
No.
Maybe in the setup if we had to, but okay. Let's keep this going. What should we do next?
Okay. So cool. So we wanna control. Well, I guess we might want to style. Do you want to make a class? Do you want to style the paddle, or do you want to make a class for the paddle?
Yeah, let's do both of those. Let's start with styling it. Let's make it look
Cool.
nice, so everyone
Awesome.
can be really, really, yeah.
Okay, so let's say, so for a rectangle, we can do stroke, and then right before the call to rectangle,
Yeah.
stroke,
Mm-hmm.
and then pass in an RGB. And alternatively, we can also pass in like a hash, and then a hex value in strings, kind of like an HTML thing, but in strings.
like that sort of thing. or-
Yeah, and I think that should work.
Okay. So that's just going to be the outline of it then, or yeah. It's not very thick though. Can we make it thicker?
Yeah, so there's a stroke weight function with
Okay.
like a camel case,
Stroke weight.
and I think it's measured in pixels. So
Let's find out. Yep, looks about right.
yeah,
Okay, good stuff. How
and
about,
then
can
sorry,
we
go
do
ahead.
rounded corners?
Yeah, there is a round rect function instead of rect,
Yeah. So
and round rect, and like the last few parameters would be I think it would take a variable number of arguments if I was to guess, but yeah, try just one and it
it doesn't like it.
doesn't like it, eh?
No, it's very unhappy right now. Oh, it says round rect is not defined.
All right, let's hop on over to. It's just in rect. Okay, I lied.
Oh.
So there's no round rect. It's just rect, and yeah, you can just pass in one extra parameter, and that should do it.
Oh wow, look at that.
So pretty.
Oh, do we have a question for him? Whenever Andor gets a second, I'm curious if he's followed the work of Daniel Schiffman at all. Isn't that the coding train guy? I know P5 is a huge
that's
open
it.
source
Yeah.
project, but his YouTube videos are very good for learning more about this library tricks. Yeah, cool. So the answer is yes then? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been going through some of his like material in Nature of Code. I think he wrote, which
That's
is
the like
really
physicsy
great
one,
book.
right?
Yeah, it's on like there's some AI in there. There's some well, I guess it's mostly like a type of AI, not in the sense of like I guess he puts it in terms of agents, so like moving objects in interesting ways. It's really great work. He does it. I haven't seen any of his coding like train things, but yeah, really great work.
Great work. So, I want to do a few things for this. So, I want to make the inside a different color now. How do I do that?
Yeah. Okay, so there's a function called fill,
Okay. I put it like before the rectangle, just like stroke.
exactly. Yeah, and I think what you'll notice is that like processing is really intuitive. Like all of these functions that we're calling are basically like what I would say like pure processing. Like they're from the pure processing like API. So it's very, very like straightforward. It's like you want to, use a fill color, call fill. You want to change the stroke, call stroke.
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah,
So,
really intuitive,
right,
really
so
easy to pick up.
in some ways it's a bit like MS Paint, right? Like we select the tools we want and then we can start
Yeah.
using them, right? It's like if I want to draw on the thing here, I would like choose my color and then everything
Yeah.
I draw after that is going to be that color until I choose the next one. And then everything from there is going to be that color, right? Like the same sort of thing here.
Yeah, exactly. And so we can throw in like a value in the fill function.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's give this one like a 60, like a dark gray or something like that. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
In fact,
yeah.
here, can we make it clear?
So yeah, we can do a no fill. So camel case.
No fill. Like that?
No. Like
Oh.
instead of fill.
Oh, instead of fill. Oh. Okay.
And I actually learned a trick like a couple months ago. So I was actually alternating between having to fill something and unfill it,
Okay.
and I would have two lines of code, no fill and fill.
Yeah.
But technically, you can just put in arguments in the no fill function. So you can type in 60, right? And then you just get rid of no, and then just change the uppercase F to a lowercase f, and you can kind of quickly alternate between it being filled and it being not filled. Because if you're calling no fill and you're passing in arguments, they get ignored anyway.
Okay. I see what you mean. So
Yeah.
then, all right, if I had a background now, like if I made the background 60, or let's make it something higher. Let's make it 100. And while we're doing this, ATD285 says he's venturing more into AI and neural networks lately, but he has some really interesting P5 projects involving vectors and really other interesting projects. That's really cool. I really like the idea of sort of physicsy based, like computer stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like algorithms that are based on actual physics stuff. I feel just have this kind of cool look to them.
Yeah, like I feel that like the movement gets really, it really brings like the project to life,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good way of
for
putting
sure.
it. Can we make the color of our paddle change? Like, can we?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad you asked that question.
It was bound to happen eventually.
Okay, so you want to like kind of like what I'm guessing is you want to kind of like oscillate between a color.
Yeah, so I want over time for, let's say something like this, okay? Let's say like if the G and the B are just based on time, like sine waves over time, and then the R is based on your position. So like the higher up on the screen you are, the more
Oh,
red
yeah.
it gets or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so let's start with changing it. Let's start changing it based on the Y position.
Sounds good.
So if we do a fill,
Yeah, but wait, it's stroke. That's what I mean. I want the outline.
sorry, the outline. Yeah, okay. So you can do like a 0, 0, and then a mouse Y. And the thing is with a mouse Y, it's in pixels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
what
we
we're gonna
want to
have to do
normalize it.
is, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if you divide by the window height,
Yeah, which we have already from above.
yeah,
And then we'll want to multiply that by 255, I guess.
yeah, exactly. And I don't want to like steer this off course too much, but processing has different color modes too. So if you really don't like working in 255 and you want to work with normalized values,
Mm-hmm.
so to be honest, I actually prefer this. But if you really wanted, you can just change the color mode so you would have stroke 1, 1, mouse Y divided by window height.
Without
really
needing
like
the 255 or anything like
Yeah,
that.
it's really like a preference, but yeah, I just wanted to like toss that in there.
Okay, so a couple things I want to say. First of all, don't worry about steering this off course. I mean, this is the course we're taking, right? Wherever it takes us. So, like, yeah, I appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to say is, so you said one of them was your preference. Which one is your preference? Which one do you prefer to
I
work with?
I don't know. I've just been working with RGB like basically my entire life, but
Yeah.
if you talk to artists and designers, they'll probably prefer using HSB, like hue, saturation, brightness,
Yeah.
which is probably a better way to go. But I've just been, I don't know. I've just always been using RGB.
Yeah, okay. But hold on. If we're using HSB, then wouldn't that make it a lot harder to do like what we want to do? Like to make it so that just the red is modified by like your position on the screen? Because like hue is just one thing, right?
You need to, I guess you need to like locate which hue it is, and then just change the brightness of it. It really
Yeah.
depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
But
Well, for
oh,
now,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
keep it
sorry.
RGB.
Yeah,
Is that cool with you or?
yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, are we good to do a refresh on this? Is this gonna? Oh, yeah, look at
Oh yeah, there
that.
you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so now we're getting
man.
different like red values, right?
That is sexy as hell, bruh. Nice job. Okay, good stuff. But that's in the blue right now. Let's make that the red. And we'll fix that for just a minute. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it
Yeah.
is, yeah. Okay, actually, I want to flip that. So, you said mouse Y is in pixels, right?
Yeah, mouse wise, so that's already normalized. But if you want to flip it,
I'll just do one minus
yeah,
that fraction. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's exactly the effect I'm looking for. Oh, hell yeah. That looks sick. Okay, cool. Now let's make it change over time too.
cool. So, if you want to change it over time, there is a sign function that we can call.
Yes,
This
now
is
we're talking.
this is essentially just wrapping math.sign,
Yeah?
but it prevents us from having to type, math dot. So
Okay.
just call sign.
Just like that?
Yeah, and we want to like an open parentheses, and we want to pass in frame count. And I don't think it's a function. I think that should just work. But frame count is it can get fast really. It can like increase really quickly over time. So we probably want to divide it by like 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll try that.
And
Oh, anything else?
and one more thing, since sign oscillates between -1 and 1,
Mm-hmm.
and our colors only really want to range from positive to 255,
Yeah.
we probably want to take the absolute value. So we have an ABS function that we can use. So ABS, right where your cursor is, and yeah, the whole thing in there. And then
Well, hold on. Why don't we just modify? Like, why don't we just say? Because you said it's going from 0 to 1, right?
Sine will go from -1.
Oh yeah,
to
sorry,
1.
-1 to 1. But okay, here's my issue, because with a sine wave, we get a particular shape out of that, right? So like a sine wave is going to give us something like this, and it's nice and smooth. Whereas if we were to take the absolute value of that, then it's going to give us something that's going to have this like jerkiness to it. It's going to have a definitive cusp to it on every cycle. So I want to stay away from doing a math.abs. Now, I'd be happy to square it, because that would give us something a little smoother, right? Like squaring it would give us something a little more like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can add 1 to it, I guess, too, right?
Well, that's the other thing, yeah. So, okay, maybe let's just do that. Okay, I should keep my parentheses because I'm assuming we're going to multiply this by something. But yeah, +1, so now it's going from 0 to 2.
Cool. 0 to 2, and I guess we can multiply that by 128, or yeah, 100.
Let's try 100 for now, yeah, and we'll see if we notice the effect. So are we noticing the effect? I think so. Yeah.
It's pretty slow, but it's there,
very slow, but it is there. It exists. Okay, let's make it faster.
Speed up that dude. Yeah.
Yeah, let's make it 10 times its current speed. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? It feels like our paddle is like breathing, you know? Like you were saying before about it feeling
Psychedelic.
alive.
Yeah.
Oh, super psychedelic. Okay, so let's just split this up so we got like a separate line for each of our R's and G's and B's. So now, why don't we do something like this? We'll do a similar value for this, but just because I'm noticing that it is getting pretty dark, well, first, let's add on 55 to this. And then for this one, I want to do a phase shift. So I guess we'll do like, okay, frame count. What would make sense for this? Like, what's the period of this wave?
Well, we can just replace sine with a cos as well. That'll shift it. Like,
It's not going to shift it in quite the way I want to, though. And maybe we should just make it a negative sign. Yeah. Yeah, that would make most sense, I think. Just
Yeah.
making it a negative sign. Yeah, because I want, when one of them is at its maximum point, I want the other to be at its minimum. Whereas
Oh, I
sine and
see.
cos are only phase shifted by
Yeah,
like
okay.
a quarter. So
okay.
is that working? Is that, I guess, let me throw a plus 55 on this one too. But yeah, it's still getting kind of dark, but is that acceptable? Here, let's turn this one down. So let's make this one 200 and then plus 55 at the end of that too. Yeah, so that we'd sort of get like a baseline brightness.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
And actually, here, let's make one of them go twice the speed. Get a bit of
man.
polyrhythm in there, right? That's not quite what I was thinking. Here, let's make it 3. Because that should show us some sort of unique colors, right? Yeah, this is good. Now, what if we wanted like, what if we wanted it to be like a gradient? Could we do something like that where like the left side of the paddle is a different color from the right side of the paddle, or is that getting kind of tough?
Yeah. There's no direct way to do a gradient.
Well, let's probably not worry about that then.
Yeah.
This is looking good. I like the look of this thing. It is looking pretty futuristic. It's looking kind of Tron, you know?
Yeah.
It's got that kind of Tron feel. So
Got that neon glow.
yeah. Why don't we give this like? Why don't we work a little more on the aesthetic here? And can we make it like a star field? That might be kind of fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We can add a Starfield.
Let's add a star field. I'd feel good about that.
All right. So I guess the first thing would you like working with classes?
Yeah, I love working with classes.
All right, cool.
Wait, as opposed to
So-
what?
No, I mean like ES6 classes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm happy with those. I like them. I think they're nice.
So we can make like make like a background class and
Okay.
keep that separate.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we could have like a constructor. And what I generally like doing is I like having like a constructor, an update, and a draw. So
Okay, sounds
basically
good.
like all my sprites will yeah. And then I guess so do you want to use like a what can we do? So we can use an array, you can use a set. What do you want to work with?
This is for the stars.
Yeah.
Okay. The way. Well, let's see. To me, one of the big advantages to a set is it makes it very easy to delete elements. So if we need to delete elements, maybe a set would be a good one.
Are we deleting elements? I don't know if we would be.
Okay.
I mean, no, I don't think so. So we can just go with like an array.
Let's do an array for now, and if we decide we want a set later, we can do that.
Cool. All right.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
let's do like this, and what do you want to call it? Stars.
Yeah.
Cool. And let's fill it up with. Actually, you know what? Let's step back. Um, I think we should start using this function or using this class before we actually write it.
Okay,
Then
sure.
it'll give us a better idea like what we actually want it to do. So
Sounds good.
so let's go into like we can make this like a global like global variable. Let's say at the very top you can say let background is equal to, or sorry, let's just let background, just like declare it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in setup, we can say background is equal to new background. And I guess we can pass in some arguments, like how many stars we want maybe, or something.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Cool. All right, so that so that means how many? Yeah. So, yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So we basically want these stars to basically be constrained with it's within the like the canvas itself, right?
Like we don't want them off
5.
the page kind of thing?
Yeah.
Ideally, I
So
would say, yeah.
so okay. No, I'm just thinking if we want to do if we want to have like I don't think we want a stars class. I think we can just put everything inside a background and just keep it like encapsulated there.
All right.
So we can have like so we would have like maybe a few like variables, maybe like stars position,
Mm-hmm.
stars velocity.
Okay, so hold
Maybe?
on. Let's do something like this. For a star, what we should have is the position. So, like, really just the x position. Or wait, because we're going to need to track the y position as well, but it's going to be the one changing, right? The x position is going to be constant, or at least somewhat constant. Like, you're sort of thinking something like this, right? Where we would have a star and it would be like a dot or whatever, and it would be moving this way according to some velocity, and once it reaches the end, then it's going to be respawned at some other location at the top, maybe with some other velocity.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, we'll have a position, so an x and a y. We'll have, what I'm thinking is this, a depth. And the depth will determine both its velocity and its size. So like it's basically going to give the impression of how far away it is, right? So if it's further
cool,
away, then it's not going to be traveling as far or as
Cool.
fast.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Yeah.
Cool. So let's do that. So should we just do that in here? Like,
Yeah, I mean, well, if we have x, y, and depth, I mean, that's essentially that's just a three-dimensional vector, right?
yeah, it's like X, Y, Z, right?
Yeah, so we can make an array of vectors because P5 does actually does have like a vector, a 2D and a 3D vector object, so we can do it in that sense.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that works.
Yeah, so, but we'll have to have an array of them, but
Okay, sure. But like, okay, so are we allowed to just bust out some P5 stuff here? Like, it doesn't have to be in the draw and the setup?
I mean, we can write whatever we want. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So we'll do something like this. And yeah, how do I get those vectors?
Okay, so yeah, so we do a new and then lowercase p5.
Okay, yeah.
Vector, uppercase V.
Yeah.
Dot vector.
P5 vector dot vector?
No, sorry, p5 dot vector.
Oh, P5 dot vector with a capital V?
Yeah.
Like this.
And then it's gonna take an X, Y, and Z.
Okay, and I guess we'll just sort of randomize those, right?
Yeah.
So
we can do a math.random, but we can also use the P5 random, which basically takes care of. It's basically a bit simpler to use. We don't have to like modulus things and like subtract all that stuff. So we can just provide a minimum and maximum. So
Okay,
we can
cool.
do like a random
Yeah.
0 window width, I guess,
Yeah, for the X.
for the X. Yeah.
And then we'll do 0 and window height for the Y.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then I guess for our depth, it's really up to us to decide.
Maybe just 0 to 1.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, nice and normalized value.
Yeah.
It'll give us like the flexibility to like scale it.
Yeah, perfect. I'll just put that function on the next line. Oh, and even that, geez. Let's break these up a little bit. Okay. Hopefully that's like somewhat readable. And just for my dear viewers, I'm going to switch that over because I've been hassled about that before. So, okay, cool. So we got this.
Cool. All right. So we have an array of stars. Probably good to. Do you think this will work? We can test this out.
Let's test it out, man. So, but wait. What's it going to do with these? Like, it's a vector, but no, okay. So it's not happy about this, first of all. Rand is not defined.
Oh, random. Sorry, random.
Random. Where did I put the first one? There it is. Random. Okay, let's give that a try. Background is not a function. Where is that? 13? Oh, it's because we're calling this background. Let's call this BG.
Oh yeah. And I wonder if it was complete. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But now we want to actually make these stars appear like something, right?
Yeah. So in our draw function, let's tell background to render itself. So
okay, how?
So do bg dot. So in draw, bg dot draw.
bg.draw. Okay, like this.
Yeah, and then let's implement.
Right, and it's this. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. So what do we want to do here then? Like some sort of stars dot for each.
Yeah.
Okay. Star. And now this star is a P5 vector. So how do I interact with that?
Yeah. Okay. So it has. I think it has x dot y and dot z components. So
gotcha.
We can do. How do you want to draw them? Do you want to do an ellipse? Like a circle?
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So
is a circle a type of ellipse in P5?
Yeah. There's no. I don't think there's a circle function. It's just all ellipse.
Perfect.
All ellipse.
Yeah, perfect. We could make them like extended depending on their speed or something.
Oh yeah, man. Right? We can do like warp speed.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's gonna be a power up in our game, right? You get some warp speed, and all the stars become basically vertical lines.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Screen shakes.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Okay, cool. Let's do this. So, so I want to. Yeah. How do I do the ellipse?
So let's just do like a console log star.x.
Sure.
I'm not,
yeah. Just to
see if it actually
that.
Works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get my inspector ready. Stars is not defined. This dot stars.
Oh yeah. I make that mistake all the time too. And then in the console log as well.
Thanks, buddy. Oh yeah. Wait, no, this one's fine because it's star. It's coming from here. But it's already console logging a bunch of other junk, so I'll just comment that out for now. Okay, so are these... Wait, what are these? Are these the star positions then? Or is this something else we're looking at? Yeah, because I guess it's drawing this on every frame, so we should expect... Oh, we should expect a whole bunch more junk now. But yeah, this is looking right, I think, right?
It's a bit small, I can't really see it, but...
Yeah, sorry, it's giving us a whole bunch of... It's basically giving us the same set of random x values a whole bunch of times, which is what we want, right? Because we're not actually changing the x's or anything like that.
Changing the position yet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it is console logging it seems, on every frame, which is a bit intense. But it looks like it's working is the point. So now we want...
just to interrupt you for a second. There's also, in terms of like debugging, I like using... like not using console for everything, but sometimes just writing my variables directly to the screen. Since we have a canvas anyway, we can just
Yeah.
call text.
Okay,
And
where should we call that? Like over here?
so yeah, but instead of the for each,
Oh, instead
um,
of. Okay.
instead, so we can just do text, and then do like, let's just grab the first star. So this dot stars subset 0 dot x, and then comma, like a, x and y coordinate. So I don't know, 50-50, or wherever we want to draw this
Gotcha. Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
And
So then,
it's
oh
going to
yeah,
use,
there it is.
why? Why does it look so funky?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Are we drawing background? Yeah, okay, we're clearing it. Oh, maybe because, well, it's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it looks very bizarre.
It's also using the color of the last thing that we're using. So
Yeah.
this is something I actually want to fix. So when we draw that paddle,
Yeah.
where is it? Line 15, I guess, right? So just before that, we want to do like a push. So yeah,
Right
push.
here? Push?
Yeah, and open close parentheses.
Yeah.
And then right after the call to rec, so line 23, we can do a pop. So basically what this means is it's kind of like creating a state where we want to create this new state where it's like the only thing that the rec is going to be like affected by these colors, but nothing outside of it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Gotcha.
and our text disappeared, but probably because we're using like a default black. So yeah, you got it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's look
Oh,
into it
maybe I should have done fill instead of stroke, eh? That makes a
I
little
think
more sense.
I don't. You know what? Like, this is like a weird thing with processing that I never quite understood. Where it's like, yeah, like it. I always imagined text should use the stroke, but it uses the fill instead, which is like really, for me, it's really counterintuitive. But I always.
But I guess it makes sense because you can actually stroke it, right? Like you can outline your text as well.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, that seems to be what it was doing a second ago. So.
Oh, that's why it was happening. Oh man, like I've been working with processing for like a good 8 years, and I had no idea why anyone would want to do that. But yeah, okay, I learned something today.
Hey, it's nice when we can all learn something. So okay, let's speaking of which, let's continue with this. So we actually want to render our stars now, right? Not just a text representation of their position. So let's do that.
So let's call ellipse.
Yeah, let's call ellipse. So I guess I'll just bust my for each back out here.
Yeah, let's put that back in there. Yeah.
Okay, so ellipse, just like that. Oops.
Yeah, so ellipse takes an x, a y,
Okay.
and a width and a height. So if you set both width and height to the same thing, we'll get a circle.
Yeah. So this is going to be dependent upon star.z, and so is the height.
Yeah. Hey, but if we're gonna randomize between 0 and 1,
Yeah.
won't that give us like a 0-sized ellipse?
Well, not if we multiply it up like that, right?
Well, I guess if it never reaches 0.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Wow, pretty.
Hell yeah. Okay, these are great. So now we want something like this, except, okay, first of all, I'm gonna make it star.z squared because that's more realistic.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Okay, yeah.
And it's too small, so I'm gonna make it maybe like a +1 at the end of this. Yeah, we'll put a +1 on the end of these. Let's try that. cool. Actually, I can't. I'm actually having trouble distinguishing between some of these and just like dust particles on my screen.
Yeah, same. I have to like.
Okay, so maybe instead of +1, let me make it +10 temporarily, just to see if. Like,
Oh, just for debugging, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's yeah. Actually, I find that really helpful. Kind of like exaggerating the sizes of my objects just to get an idea, and
completely.
then
Yeah.
once you have an idea, like okay, and then scale it back down. It's really helpful.
Oh, absolutely. It's helpful in many elements of life. Okay, so those are looking good, I think. Maybe 3? I don't know. I don't want them looking like specks. So, okay, and let's tone this down a little bit. Maybe we'll make that 5 so it's not so extreme. Yeah, that's probably good. I actually can't tell. Like,
Also, well, we also it is going to be taking whatever. The thing is, we're calling fill right before we're rendering the stars, which is great, but uh, it's going to also take like the last stroke that we used, which
Yeah.
might not always be like desirable. So we probably want to
say
call
no stroke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
No stroke.
Just to be like safe. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, looks good. So, and do I want to do like a push and pop on these, or what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I generally like encapsulating like what I render for each of my objects, just so the state doesn't like leak out.
Yeah, right. Like it did before with that text. Okay,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we've got these now, and now we want to make a move, right? So that's going to be our
Yeah.
update.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, we definitely want the for each method we got going on.
Yeah. And this is already going to be called on every frame, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're not calling it, but we definitely gotta make it. So somewhere in Draw, I like doing my updates before I do any rendering.
Wait, what do you mean?
Sorry, like so in our draw, in our draw function,
Yeah.
the first thing I like doing is updating all my sprites.
Okay, so like, should I do a this dot update here? Is that what you mean, or do you mean something different than that? Or do you mean in the other draw?
In the other draw, yeah, like
Okay,
the processing
gotcha.
draw.
So we should do
yeah, before you
bg dot update.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and maybe just one dot would be enough there. Cool. So, and then we're calling this, right? So we're calling this dot,
Right.
bg dot update, which is going to update all the stars, specifically what it's going to do to each of them, and I didn't do that properly. So for each star.
So we don't have a. So we have a position. We don't have a velocity set yet, do we?
It's going to be dependent upon Z.
Or you want to do the Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so we'll do like star y plus equals.
Let's just do that for now. So they'll be really slow.
Cool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Oh,
okay,
yeah. Okay, good stuff. We'll make them a little faster, I guess. So maybe like, okay, we'll say 5 times star dot z plus 5. Or wait, that's going to be way too fast. Maybe that's not way too fast, but it's too fast. So let's say 2 and 2. Yeah, okay. Actually, let's make it 5 and 2. Okay, that's good, I think. Yeah. And now we want to make something like this, right? So like if star dot y is greater than, what do you call it? Window height?
Yeah, window height. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, if it's greater than window height, then we want to respawn the star. The star. Yeah. So we're gonna say star dot x. Can I just reassign x? Am I allowed to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So star dot x is gonna be a new random. So random 0 and window width. Yeah, there we go. And star dot y is going to be I guess I'm just gonna say negative. Let's just say negative 20. You know, give it some breathing room. So have it
Right.
start like back up at at the top, and
Makes sense,
then
yeah.
star.z. We'll keep star.z the same, I guess. So let's just try that. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, good stuff. Now let's just get more stars in there. So instead of 5, let's try 50. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
now I really feel like I'm in space. The stars are too big though. Let's make them smaller. So the width and height. Oh wait, why did I make
Hey.
width and height different? Yeah, what's up?
I just wanted to point out there is a super useful function
Mhm.
in processing called no smooth. So if we're going for like an aliased kind of look, we can call no smooth, and
Okay.
that won't alias, like that won't make our graphics aliased.
So where should I put that? Where do you recommend?
This is like a kind of like you generally just want to call it once, so we probably want to put it in setup
Okay.
right after the create canvas.
Sounds
Whoa,
good.
lost start.
Do you think that's enough? Okay, so no smooth, just like that.
Yeah, let's see what this looks like. I generally prefer like an 8-bit kind of feel,
Yeah.
but it's
So
up to you. I mean,
okay, let's try maybe 500. Yeah, I think that's striking that balance. Oh, I really feel like I'm moving through space now. Yeah, so the question is whether we want to randomize, like re-randomize the Zs, but it's probably fine like this. I don't know. This is looking
if we
really
wanted
cool.
to, if we did want to, then because I'm looking at the code and there is like a bit of like duplication where we're just reassigning like the X,
Mhm.
and we can have like a reset star. But really, I mean,
Yeah,
like as long as like the effect is achieved, it doesn't always need to be like we don't need to always have that kind of like flexibility
so what you're talking
as
about
long
is
as the
basically
illusion is created.
yeah, what you're talking about is basically this compared to this down here, right? Like the random zero window width, random zero window
Yeah,
width. Like
and
there is
maybe
that
like
bit of
later
repetition.
on we'll be like, oh, you know what, we would really need like a reset star, which we can write. But
Yeah. I think for now this is fine. The reason is because like in this case we're setting y to negative 20. We're specifically saying start back at the start as opposed to like when we started up we want it to already be just kind of populated,
yeah,
right? So
it's true.
yeah, I'm happy with doing it like this.
Cool beans.
Oh,
Cool stars.
the coolest beans. Okay, so let's do something else now. Let's maybe make our paddle move around and stuff like that. Can we do that? Or
Make
was
our
there?
paddle move around.
Yeah, well, it's like moving with the mouse now, and like if we
Oh,
can make
you
it
want
move
to?
with the keyboard, then
Oh yeah.
that would
Yeah,
be
let's
cool.
dig into the like some keyboard stuff.
Yeah, let's dig into that juicy stuff. I guess we can get rid of that. I think I'm gonna get rid of the text as well. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're not attached to it?
We'll need that.
Alright. Sounds good. So I guess eventually, like, would I want to be taking this like background class, for example, and throwing it in its own file?
yeah, we can do that.
Is it
Yeah,
something
we
you
can probably try it
recommend,
out.
or?
Yeah, I think so. We can try it out.
Okay, sounds good. So class background. We'll grab this. X that
I think
out.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Keep it modular, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just call that background.js. Do you recommend a capital B?
Sure. Actually, yeah, because it's a class, right? So
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
it makes sense.
And now I need to go over here, right? And do another one of these things.
Yeah.
Script, src,
I'm wondering if it's like
background.js.
if it's gonna like be an issue if we call it after or before, but let's keep it like this and see what happens.
You're talking about whether we put it before or after the sketch.js?
Yeah.
I was wondering that too.
Let's see what happens. I'm curious. I hope it's gonna work.
Is this entire library just vanilla JS under the hood?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it doesn't do any. I'm not really sure about that question.
Okay, it was posed by our one of our favorite viewers, ATD285, who also said, "I hope you guys don't mind questions during the build." And are you kidding me? Not at all. I encourage them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, questions. Lots of questions.
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
Hey, yeah, exactly. That and failure. So, this is good, right? Looks like it's working. So, yeah, what next? What do you recommend?
Yeah. Okay. So, what you wanted to move that background out of it, and then you wanted. Oh yeah, you want to add key input, right?
Yeah, and actually, before we do that, I have a question for you. So we're talking about this like BG thing at the top here. So are we doing this up at the top just so that we can access it here and then also access it over here? Is that the idea?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotta show you Emmet for code snippets one day. You'll love it. Emmet, I've heard of that. That's like, yeah, Scott Tolinsky uses that. So that's for like auto completing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is this because I've been talking so much about autocomplete during that CodePen stuff? Okay, I gotcha. Do you use that?
I thought Emmet was mostly for. I've used it before for HTML, but
yeah,
it's also available for like other languages.
I'm not sure, but like that's where if you wanted to do something that would just bust open like a div ID is assigned the value of, then you just do some kind of like hashtag and then the name and it would bust it out for you kind of thing. It's like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know, like I've used it before, but then I felt that I had to I felt it was causing me to like slow down my processing because I'm like, okay, well now I have to think about everything in terms of Emmet. And it just put an extra barrier.
That's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, but I mean, I guess if you get really efficient with it, yeah, you can really, improve your speed. But I just didn't. I was too lazy to kind of change my process.
Your process, is that a pun?
I was trying to not make a pun.
All right. So yeah, let's do our keyboard controls. That'd be fun.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, how do you want to do? Do you want to do it with events? Do you want to do it with polling?
When you say polling, what exactly do you mean? That's where we check to see if the key is pressed on every frame, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there one that you would recommend?
I think I would. In this case, I think I would prefer polling. I think it makes sense.
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
Oh, one more question. Is it okay that these stars don't have integer values for their x, y, and z's?
That's actually a really good question. So it doesn't matter. Like, I guess you could technically, go out of your way and, make them integers, but it's just adding one layer of unnecessary, code that you don't really need to do.
Okay.
Like Canvas will accept like a JavaScript number, and I guess it'll figure it out like where the closest pixel is where it has to draw.
Gotcha. So it'd just be a bunch of unnecessary floors otherwise.
Yeah, it'd probably just slow us down.
Okay.
It's kind of weird to I know what he's saying. It's like it seems kind of weird, but it works. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's continue. So we want our keyboard controls. We're going to use polling.
Yeah. So I'm just actually looking at the documentation right now.
Sure.
So there's a lot of key stuff. Hey, actually, did you post the reference? Because it's super useful to. I don't know if they
this over here.
Anyone wants to know it. Yeah. The reference. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, let's pop that in the chat real quick.
So I think what we want is key key code. Hold on. Key is down.
Key is down. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
So yeah, like I really like just check. So in this particular case, it's really nice to just be able to just query like, hey, is the key down, right?
Yeah.
And then do any kind of logic, versus you know the key is typed, and then like so create a state where it's down, and then this kind of handles a lot of that.
Okay,
For
so here's what I'm thinking. We should have a class for paddle, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because then we could add more than one paddle, right?
If we wanted to, yeah.
That would be sick.
That would be so sick. Okay, so we've got this. But not just that, but I just figured like it would allow us to keep track of like our x and y position, our dx and our dy, because that's all ultimately what I think we want the keyboard controls to do, is to change the velocity of the paddle.
Right.
So we'll give this an update and a draw, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. Perfect. Okay. So I guess I'll just throw these in, this.x. Where should we start our guy? Maybe like middle of the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay, window width divided by 2. This.y is going to be window height. Whoops. Window height divided by 2. And then we're going to have dx and dy, which are going to start as 0. And those are the things that we ultimately want to be modifying on a key press. But also, we want them to decay on every frame. In the sense of like friction, right? We don't want it so that like you tap up once and it continues going up forever. So we want it to like kind of decay, kind of lose some of its velocity, right? So
Right, like a drag almost.
like a drag, exactly. So I'm thinking we'll do something like this. This dot x plus equals this dot dx. This dot y plus equals this dot dy. And then this dot dx times equals, I don't know, 0.8 or something like that. This dot dy times equals 0.8. You know, something like that. We could have like a coefficient of friction if we really wanted to get into it. But in between these things is, actually, I think above this, like before we do any of these updates, this is where we want to be listening. Like, this is where we want a key is down thing, right?
Right, okay, yeah. So
Is that going to give us a Boolean or? Yeah, right? If key is down. Yeah, cool. So if key is down, and we'll say left arrow, then this dot dx minus equals 5. Let's just try that for now, I guess. And then for draw, this is where we're going to want to do, I guess, all this stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And instead of our mouse x and our mouse y, we can use this dot x and this dot y. Yeah. Whoops. This dot y. And this dot y. Cool. So let's try that. Oh, wait. I got to do... Okay, so I'll do the same sort of thing. Yeah, right. So we'll do that over here. Paddle is assigned the value of new paddle. Doesn't need any arguments. Maybe eventually we could have like, player 1, player 2 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
For now it's fine. So we'll call an update on paddle on each frame, and we'll call a draw after we do that. We'll call it a draw. Okay, how's that? Does that look good to you?
Looking good, yeah.
Okay, thanks, man. All right, so now it's not moving around. Whoa, okay, good stuff. So the left arrow worked. It's a bit extreme, but it worked. So let's do the same thing for our other arrows, I guess. So if key is down, right arrow, up arrow and down arrow. Okay, so we'll make this a plus. We'll probably change this from a 5. Actually, wait. We should have a this dot speed, and it's gonna start out as 1, let's say, and we'll say this dot speed. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, so this should be y minus equals? Yeah, it should be, y should be minus equals, right? On up arrow?
Yeah. So if you go up, it's negative.
Yeah,
And if
okay.
you go down, it's positive. Yeah.
It's working.
Nice.
This is great. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, I love this. I love it. Okay, let's make the speed 2 just so it's a little nicer. Yeah, okay, that's real fast. Good stuff. Okay, cool. I'm gonna set it back to 1 because that's just too much power otherwise. Okay, so this is good. I like this. I'm actually gonna change the starting location instead of being window height. Yeah, instead of window height divided by 2, I'm gonna make it 3 times window height divided by 4. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a good starting spot. Okay, cool. So maybe now let's get a bouncy ball.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll make it kind of psychedelic, just like our Tron paddle here.
Well, we got it.
Yeah. Sorry. That's
Mandatory.
pretty obvious, I guess. All right, cool. And, well, hey, while we're here, I guess I might as well go ahead and modularize this, right? Throw this in its own file.
Yeah.
Paddle.js. We'll import that. Okay. You know what? I think we're gathering a bit of momentum here. This is good. Feels like we're really getting into it at this point.
For sure. Yeah.
So earlier when we were doing this, you were kind of curious about whether it was going to work with these things below the sketch.js. Is it typical? Would you normally put the sketch.js at the bottom of these? Is that
Yeah.
sort of a
Generally,
personal
like I
preference
put my
thing?
sketch at the actually very bottom of body.
Oh, okay.
But I
Should
mean,
it
it
do that
doesn't
for all
really
these, or-
matter in our case because we're not relying on the DOM.
Yeah.
But
Right, but
can-
otherwise
yeah.
it would be like you would put it there just to make sure that everything's loaded by the time it runs, kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is get into the intricacies of like dependency. Like I don't know. Like I guess it's really depending on the browser if it's going to load these JavaScript files, and by the time we get to Sketch, if that's going to have access to like the background class. But hey, I guess it was working before, so
Yeah, I just thought of something else though. I want to sort of like clamp our position here. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't want to allow the user to go outside.
hey, luckily for you, there's a constraint function in processing.
Oh hell yeah! So how do I do it?
So the way constraint works is you pass in the value you want to constrain as the first argument, and then a minimum and a maximum.
Okay, so it's just constrain like that.
Yep. And then you'd say this dot x,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess 0, and then you'd reassign that to this dot x. So sorry, the
Gotcha.
return value.
Like that.
Yeah, but you had it right before. Like you need to so right now we're working with a point, right? So it's like we have the x, we have the position of the x, and we want to make it sure it doesn't go past window width, but we probably want to like subtract a bit because it's still gonna go. We want to do like window width minus like the width of our panel.
Yeah,
I think you're writing.
which I just like. I was started to write it, but then I noticed it wasn't one of our actual parameters here. So maybe we'll actually do that. So where am I defining that? I think I just hard coded it in, right? So rect.
Oh, when
yeah,
we're rendering,
230. So let's do that. We'll say this dot width is 200, and this dot height is 30. And then we can just use those. And maybe we could like throw that into our constructor at some point, but it's
Yeah, that
probably,
makes sense.
it's fine like this for now. So Yeah, window width. And actually, I should probably make this like this dot width divided by 2. Because we're talking about the center here, right? Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, looks good.
beauty. Okay. This dot y is assigned the value of constrain this dot y, this dot height divided by
I love these
2.
functions. I love these processing functions. They're so simple to use, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of artists, are able to like make really really cool stuff, because just the functions are so easy to use, and especially if like artists are coming into like a programming language and they don't really know what they're doing, it's great to be able to use a simple structure.
It makes a lot of sense, yeah. And a lot of the people who I've talked to who have like no programming experience whatsoever do make reference to P5. Like a lot of my teacher friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh yeah, I don't really play the game, but I'm thinking about getting into P5. That was something I used to
Yeah.
hear a lot. Okay, cool. And it's very subtle, eh? How the color depends on the Y position. It's kind of like if you weren't looking out for it, you might not even
If you weren't
notice.
looking at,
Yeah.
you gotta pay attention in this game, dude.
Oh, that's what it's all about. Okay, so let's continue with this. What's the next thing? Where were we?
Oh, so we
So
want to add a ball, right?
yes, that's exactly what we want to add. What should we call it?
Ball.
Space ball.
Space ball. I like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Constructor. Update and draw, I guess, like everything else, right?
Yeah.
Right. And this is going to give us our first taste of collision detection.
Yes. Yeah.
So, for the constructor, we should give this thing, I guess, an x and a y and a dx and a dy, just like our paddle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this dot x, I don't know, I'm just going to make it 0, 0 for now. We'll decide in a minute what we want to do with these, but we'll just get them on paper first. I'll say this dot size, and maybe that's something that'll go in the constructor as well. But for now, let's make it 30. So we'll draw an ellipse. Actually, we need more stuff in here, right? So we'll do an ellipse. That's going to be... what parameters does this take again? It's like x, y, height and width?
Width and height. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Width and height, right. Which are both just going to be this dot size.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got those, and I also sort of want to do, I'll just put in my push and pop here because I want to give this kind of a style.
Nice. Yeah.
And I think I want to make it something pretty similar to this style over here. I'm thinking. But actually, hold on. Before we continue with this, I'm going to be right back, okay? Here, I'll mute my mic. You can
Are you taking a
interact.
break?
Yeah, just a quick one, but I'm just going to mute my mic and leave the screen like this. So if you want to interact with Chad or if you have anything to say.
Actually, I want to go grab some water because I'm kind of thirsty.
Oh, you're going to take a break? Well, you go first then, and then once
cool.
you're back, I'll take a break. Does that sound good?
Yeah. I'll only
Okay.
be a few seconds.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. So, it's just you and me, chat. I guess we might as well continue with what we were doing. So, what do we have over here? Yeah, we had our space ball. We sort of want to, well, there are a few things we want to do with this. So number one, we want to give it a cool color, just like our paddle over here. But we also want to update the position. So we want it to be moving around more autonomously than the paddle. It's not going to be under our control. So probably the update function is going to be a little simpler. We're probably going to do something like this dot x plus equals this dot dx, this dot y plus equals this dot dy. And ultimately the idea here, and ultimately what we want to be doing is something like this. So Andor,
Yes, I'm
maybe,
back.
hey, maybe this is something you can think about while I'm gone here. Okay, so
Sure.
basically, in terms of the way the space ball is going to work, we're going to have something like this, and it's going to go, let's say, this way, without loss in generality. Uh, actually, hold on. Let's say it's going out like this way. Okay, so the space ball is going this way. It's going to hit this over here. And I'm thinking probably the way to handle this is that we're just going to say, all right, well, in the x direction, you made a collision, right? So we're just going to keep dy the same, but we're going to make dx negative what it was. And then if it hits the top, then we'll say, okay, now we're going to switch dy to negative what it was, but we're going to keep dx the same. Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah, you're just inverting like the velocity.
Yeah, or the
Depending
component
on-
of the velocity, anyway.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
exactly. Yeah.
let's say it hits the paddle, so then that's going to be the more interesting thing. So hitting the paddle, I want it to reverse its y direction, but I also want it to take on some of the velocity, some of the momentum of the paddle, so that you can alter the way it goes, kind of thing. I think ultimately, what would ultimately be really cool, and I don't think we'd be able to achieve it today, mainly because I don't have the physics knowledge to get this going, but I think it would be really neat is, if you're doing like a ping pong shot or whatever, and you put a spin on it, right?
Yeah.
So like if we had our guy moving really fast to one side, ultimately what that would do is it hits the paddle, and if it's going like this, then it's going to put a spin on it like that. So it would shoot the ball out in kind of like a curveball kind of way. Like that would be a neat thing to sort of work up to, I think. But for now, I'm cool just to make it where like it hits the paddle and then it bounces off, but it takes, let's say, like some of your dx and dy, it's gonna like transfer over. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wanted to mention all that to give you something to chew on, and I'm just gonna be right back. Okay,
Oh yeah, for sure.
cool. I'll see you in a second.
I think for like the collision itself, doing the collision off the walls is relatively simple. Um, I like using, even though it's pretty trivial, I do like using like a library for my collisions. So maybe when Pat gets back, I'll suggest we use like a P5 um, collision library. I think it's called P5 Collide 2D. It's pretty basic. It just has like just functions that you can call, passing in like point, rect, circle, circle, or whatever kind of collision you want to do, and it just returns a boolean. Um, but yeah, it might be useful to include that for like the paddle and the ball versus just the borders. I think also depending on how we're rendering the space balls, like if we're rendering from the center, we might have to like offset it a bit when it approaches or when it collides with like the left side.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. All right, so, what'd you guys talk about while I was gone?
I was just talking about like starting off doing like the simple collision between the walls, and maybe once we got that sorted out, maybe introducing a collision library,
Yeah, gotcha.
or we can just do it ourselves depending on how we feel about it.
Yeah, cool.
I think it might make sense to introduce the library just because I find that we'll probably be doing like maybe like it'd be nice to have because maybe we want to do like circle circle intersections,
Yeah.
and then it have like having that library just take care of all that logic for us
There
and kind of keep
was
things abstracted.
there was one Freestyle Friday when we were working on Sloppy Game, and we spent I think about 2 hours just working on the collision detection between like the bullet and the guys, like the other sprites. And
Yeah,
it was not successful in the end. So like I think using a library is something I'm very happy to do in this case.
yeah. I find that with collision, it's like even if you get one of the parameters wrong, it's like yeah, you'll end up debugging for a long time.
Right.
Where it's like most of the times it's really simple. It's like yeah, you can derive it, but it's just really easy when you can just like throw in a library and just have it work and just move
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah, I like the idea of just having it work, so let's do that. All right, so maybe like as the start of the game, it would be good to have the space ball coming right from the upper left corner, or somewhere around there, I guess, and just kind of firing down
Cool. Yeah.
towards the paddle or something. Oh, hey, Grace Al, welcome to the chat, my man. And yeah, this is part of the guest series. We have a very special guest today, our guy Andor
Hello.
Saga. Yeah, welcome. So let's do that. So let's do the collision. I guess the first thing is to actually give this a velocity, right? So maybe we'll say dx is going to be like 5, and dy is going to be 10 or something like that. I don't know.
Cool.
Give that a
Yeah.
try. Maybe that's too extreme, but we'll find out. Maybe I'll make it 2 and 5 just to be sure. Okay, so we'll do that, and we want to update that. Oh, we should draw it. Yeah, okay. So size, or will this draw it?
Oh, we're not drawing it yet. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not calling it
We
over
have
here,
to
I guess, eh?
instantiate it.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So, okay, yeah, let's do that. So let spaceball, and oh, I forgot to capitalize that. Spaceball. There we go. So we'll put that in here. Spaceball. Little spaceball is a new big spaceball. Okay, cool. And yeah, actually here, let's put in the 30 over here, and we'll just say size is something that it's going to take in as part of the constructor. Might as well, right?
I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, cool. Me too. And we'll eventually do the same thing with paddle, but for now, who cares? Okay, so where were we? We've got our this.x, this.y, this.dx, this.dy. Do I have any... I didn't really give it a style or anything like that, so let's do that. We'll say... Wait, how do I change the color? It's with fill and stroke, I guess, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to say no
Yeah, stroke
fill.
and fill.
And yes, stroke. Stroke will say 255, so that'll make it white, right? And then stroke width, is that what I want to do? Or stroke weight? Okay, stroke weight.
Yeah.
And I just give it the argument, right? So like if I give it 10, for example.
Yeah, in pixels, exactly.
Okay. Now something's going on because I'm not seeing our guy here. So let's make it 100, 100.
We're not.
Oh, we're not
Wait,
calling
we're not-
update and draw.
Yeah.
Whoops. And you usually do update first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Oh, hey, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
There it goes. All right. What's the weight on my
Yeah.
paddle right now? Stroke
The
weight?
weight?
8. Yeah, it's 8. This one's 8 too, but it somehow seems thicker on the space ball. Oh well, that's fine. That's good. All right, so let's make it bounce around.
Cool beans. So we can do that in an update.
Okay.
I think it makes sense. So after we update,
Right.
we
yeah.
can do like
If this dot x is greater than... Oh, cool. Yeah, this can be actually really simple. So we can say like, okay, if 0... Wait. Let's just do it like this. So if this dot x minus this dot size divided by 2 is less than 0... actually, wait... Okay, here's something I have a question about. Okay? Let's think about this on a macroscopic scale for a minute. Let's imagine that we're zoomed in times like 100, okay? So let's say I've got my space ball here. It's moving this way, okay? And let's say at this point, it's like its distance over here is 2 pixels. And it is 5 pixels. It's going 5 pixels per frame, let's say, okay? So what I'm trying to say is if we were to update, then on the next frame, it would be like either inside the wall or even beyond it, like to the left of it where we can't even see it. So I guess what I'm wondering is like, so, oh, well, jeez. Basically, what I'm wondering is this: should we just like place it right on the edge? You know, should we just say, okay,
Yeah.
it's close to the edge, we'll just put it right on the edge and then switch the X? Or should we just like right before it hits, should we switch it? Or like, you know what I mean?
So yeah, there's different techniques on how to solve this, and I think the simplest is just to like nudge it over.
Okay.
For our cases, it's easiest to nudge over. Like I've seen, like if you're doing a lot of like if you're doing like a professional like game, then you generally play with like the frames. Like you'll check if if the next frame you're going to be like intersecting with whatever object, and then you make an adjustment.
Yeah.
But
Right. So
since
it's
we
like a
don't have to
look
be like
before you leap kind of thing, right? Like you check to see if you were to increase it, would it do a collision
yeah.
kind of thing?
But in our case, I think for our case, it's easiest just to like nudge it over because the user won't be able to tell.
You think it'll be subtle enough, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that just to see if it, that's for the left side, and then I guess I'll do a similar one for the right side. So if it's greater than window width, and that's plus, then we're going to say it's assign the value of window width minus this dot size divided by 2. And again, this dot dx is going to get flipped. So let's try that. We'll see what happens. Is the collision? Yeah, it's going to make it on screen. So, oh, what just happened? Why would it do that?
So let's see if
I
so.
must.
Basically, inverted the y, right?
Yeah. Why? Like, I can understand why it's changing the dx, but the dy? I must be doing something wrong here. This dot dy.
So oh, you know what? In your call to ellipse, I
Yeah.
think you're calling this dot x and this dot x.
Oh boy. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. All right. Oh, that's better. That's fierce. So maybe we should give it something different than that. Maybe we should make dy like 1 for now and make dx the one that's 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's
Yeah.
try that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think it's working. What do you think?
It looks like it's working.
Yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay, this is exciting. Good stuff. All right, let's continue with this then. Hey, by the way, just this is an aside. We don't have to do this right now, but is it difficult to put in like a pause function?
Not really. No. I mean, we would have to. We would. I like generally like putting in like a timer, and
Okay.
then once I have like a timer object, I can. It's easy to like to pause and
Stop the
restart
timer
it and stuff. Yeah, but I think right now we'd have to like dig into all our functions right now because our updates aren't taking like a delta time. We're just kind of hard coding it.
Yeah.
But no, not too difficult. No.
Okay. So I want to do the y's now. Now for the top, this is going to make sense. So we're just going to say this. We're going to say this dot dy is going to flip. And actually I'm going to make dy negative to actually illustrate that. So yeah, good. That's working. But now this one down here. So if this is greater than window width, and I'm even going to take off, I'm gonna make this a minus. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do a game over. So alert. You died. Good job.
Oh man. Harsh.
Oh, hey. That's what the paddle's there for.
Yeah.
I guess it is harsh that like the paddle doesn't currently do anything in terms of saving you. That part is definitely harsh. Oh wait, I
Oh.
died. Good job. Why? No. Okay, you have to stop. So this dot y minus.
Oh, you.
Oh, I should
What
have
you
made
can
it
actually do
plus.
is
Or
there's a
wait.
processing function
Yeah.
to like stop the loop, so you won't keep getting alerts.
Okay. How do I do that?
Just call no loop.
No loop.
So yeah,
Okay.
exactly like that.
Cool. And I think I did mean to make that minus. Yeah. Cool. And maybe I'll jack this up a little bit. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, good. Yeah, perfect. That's what we want. You died, good job. Done. Alright, cool. Now let me make that a console log so it's a little less invasive. So it should be just that, like, the game stops, time stops.
Yeah.
Your heart skips a beat. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, cool. So this is good. Now we just need to make it so that it actually bounces off the paddle so the game doesn't end all the time. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. How do we do that? This is where we
Cool.
want like a
So
collision library or something?
yeah, I was thinking we can use like there's a library called P5 Collide 2D.
Okay.
Hold on, we'll have to check the documentation, but I think we can get it from the P5JS website.
Oh, we can? Okay.
Yeah, I think under libraries.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so under libraries, there's a p5.collide2d.
Yeah,
It'll
cool.
link us to a GitHub.
So do we have to download this then, or can we just like...
Oh yeah, you know what? I wonder if we can do CDN, if there's a link.
Yeah, CDN, exactly.
Right, hold on. I know when I play around with like open processing,
Mm-hmm.
there's a way to just... So open processing is like this community of artists and developers, and they work with P5.js as well as processing.js.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a way when you're working with P5.js to just include a library just by toggling this little button. So I'm actually just going there right now to see if there's like a actual link to it.
I could just like grab this though, right? Like...
Yeah, if we want, we can also... Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the CDN like off the top or handy, I should say. Yeah, we can
Okay.
just grab the
That's fine.
minified version.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, and just use that.
Okay. I will add it to our project. Okay. P5 Collide 2D min. That should be the only file I need, right?
Yeah, it's the only thing. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go over here then, and we'll get that inside. Or should that be before the other things?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm wondering if it should be after P5 or before. Because I'm guessing... Actually, you know what? I don't think it actually has any kind of... I don't know if it has a dependency.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it's upset when we do it like this. Oh, hey, Hackers of the World Unite. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the bits. Okay, we got a you died, good job, but yeah, okay, we're getting this, so that's good, right? P5 Collide. Yeah, looks good, right? It wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't working.
Right.
Yeah. Or actually, I don't know if you can see that, but it says P5 Collide in the console.
Oh, yeah. So it console... Yeah, when it gets instantiated.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got that now. Do we know the syntax to use with that?
So the function is, what do we want to do? We want to do a rectangle and a circle, right?
Yeah, a rectangle and an ellipse, technically, right?
So this library only supports circles.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's fine. I mean, it is a circle after all.
So yeah, so it's gonna be like collide rect circle.
Okay.
That's what the function is called. And it takes in the xy with height
Okay.
of the rectangle and
So x, y width height. So paddle dot x. Whoops. Paddle dot x. Paddle dot y. And then the width and height.
paddle width and height. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking at the documentation, and actually it does have a width 2 and a height 2 for the circle. So I guess when they say circle, they really mean ellipse. But
Yeah, I guess so, eh? Okay.
and also it's so it doesn't. I don't think it has a dependency exactly on processing, but it does assume that you have your rect set up in a certain way. So it says it assumes rect mode corner and ellipse mode center. I think the ellipse mode center is by default, so we're already using that.
Mm-hmm.
And did we end up using rect mode corner? I can't remember if we changed that to center or not.
Yeah, we centralized it
Okay, so we might have to change that.
over here, right? Okay. Well, it could be either though, right? Like we could change this, or we could just switch this to say like
Oh, yeah,
paddle
for
dot
sure,
x
yeah.
minus half a paddle dot width kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, let's try it like that, I guess. So minus paddle dot width divided by 2.
Yeah.
Whoops. Dot width, yeah. And then paddle y minus paddle dot height divided by 2. Okay, and let's just space that out a bit more. Cool. Width and height, and then what else? We want the circle dimensions?
Circle x, circle y.
So that's this.
Yeah.
This dot size. And is the other argument optional?
I don't think so. I think you have to provide another size.
Well, geez.
I know, right?
For them to call it a circle, it kind of feels... Anyway. So this is going to return a Boolean, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so we want to say if this, if all that stuff, then we'll just say this dot dy times equals -1. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So yeah, you're just gonna invert the y component velocity, right?
I'm worried about this. No,
So-
I don't want to make it that. I want to make it just equals -1. And the reason is because otherwise I feel like if we overlap, then we'll have this issue where the ball will just be like, grrrr, you know, like going
Right.
back and
Stuck
forth
in the paddle,
through the
yeah.
paddle. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's try this. Did I save it? No, I didn't save it. So let's try this. Okay, it seems to be working. It's not broken. Oh, okay, that kind of worked. That kind of did something, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, I got it. So, ooh. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll make it, instead of -1, we'll make it negative math.abs, this dot dy. So it's basically going to maintain the value, but just ensure that it's becoming negative. Does that make sense?
So you're taking the absolute value of the delta, and then you're gonna negate that.
Yeah, just to make sure that it's going in the upward direction, but maintains the current velocity, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
But now I want to do something additional. So I want to say it's going to be that, but it's also going to be the this.dy or the paddle.dy. It's going to take some of the paddles dy as well. Yeah. But in the negative direction. No, because if the paddle is going up. Yeah. Okay, so plus paddle.dy. Let's try that. Okay, so now it should be that if I really whack it, yeah, there we go.
Oh man, nice.
Okay, but now the reverse should be true as well, right? I should be able to slow it down, like, yeah, cool. Okay, this is
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, this is good stuff. I have a feeling we're going to be able to really control this pretty well. Okay, let's make it go really fast. Oh god, this game's getting tough. But yeah, this is good, man. This is good. I love being able to accelerate it like that.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Okay. Are we at risk of it ever going through our paddle? Like, I'm wondering how sophisticated this collide thing is.
Yeah, it definitely could tunnel through the paddle. I don't know if we like. I mean, there's a way we can like fix that by getting a line and casting that line using the direction of the ball, and then doing a test with the line. But I think that's a bit too complex for what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, for this garbage, that's way too complex. Yeah, cool. This is great. This is great. Okay, let's try to get it going.
Or we can always like clamp. You could always clamp the velocity, right? To make sure the ball doesn't go way too fast.
I guess so, eh? That's another option. But I kind of do. I appreciate the kind of like Lethal League element of it, like the fact that it kind of can go way too fast. I'm gonna restart this because I want to try to train it to go like just like that kind of thing. I want it to have almost no X, like no DX. So whoops, too much. But this is cool, man. Okay,
yeah, this is actually really neat.
There. Okay, now we're ready for action. Are you ready for this? Let's get it going really fast. And we're going to try to get it tunneling through. That's the goal here. Oh, no, that's going to slow it down. Okay, oh, wow. Whoops.
What happened? Where did it go?
It kind of flew away. I did a bad thing. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's working good. Oh, God. Oh, okay. This is cool. So you can sort of resurrect it. Oh, man, this is intense. Maybe clamping the velocity would be a good idea. It's hard to say, but anyway. Why don't we put some other stuff on screen that can sort of be affected by this? So maybe we'll have some guys coming in from above or something like that. Who can, some guys to like, oh God. Yeah, this is good. I like this. So something I always like to say about like game design is if you want a good game, if you want a game that has rich strategy, you want to have conflicting interests. That's where rich strategy tends to come from, having these conflicting interests. Okay, something weird just happened here. So like in the example of this game, I feel like there's definitely a conflicting interest in terms of how you move versus how you're affecting the velocity of the space ball. So like I might want to move in such a way that I'm going to slow down the space ball, right, by moving back kind of thing. But if I do that, I'm more likely to miss it. So it's like it's a conflicting interest kind of thing.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
I guess eventually we'll want to detect if it's hitting from the top or if it's hitting from the bottom or something like that. But for now, it's fine. Okay, cool. So let's continue. Let's get some guys on the screen for us to hit, for us to whack with the space ball. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah. So do we want another class for these guys?
For sure. What should we call them? Guys? Or friends? Oh, and I guess I should take my space ball out of here, right? So here, let's get that into a new file. Spaceball. All right. .js. Cool. We'll save this as it is, and we'll put spaceball in here. I guess just right up here, script. baseball.js. Good. Very good. Okay, we'll save that. And where were we? So we had this. This is all good, right? Everyone's happy. Let's just make sure everyone's happy. Everyone looks pretty happy.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I think we're happy. Okay, cool. So now we want a new class, which we're gonna call friend. So what should we do with our friends here? We want them to come from the top of the screen and kind of
Work their way down.
yeah, work their way down. And
So you have like an extra set of parentheses, eh?
where?
For your class.
Where?
Am I just getting tired?
Oh, here. Yeah.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah.
Jeez. Okay, sorry about that. I guess I was thinking about the old way of doing these things with function.
You made me second guess myself. I was like, wait, how do we write it? How do we write the class?
Don't ever let me make you second guess yourself. I'm almost certainly the one who's wrong. All right, so we've got our friend class over here. They're gonna have this dot x. We'll start that as 0. This dot y. We'll start that as 0. We'll have a width and a height, I guess. So maybe should we make these guys like rectangles or something?
Yeah, I guess we could switch it. We can make them like longer, more than they're wide. We can make them ellipses. What do you want them to look like?
I want them to look okay. Can we make them rotate, or is that going to mess with the collision detection?
Yeah, you know what? I think the collision detection, I'm just gonna assume that it's axis aligned. But let's actually take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. They do have a polygon which would address that.
Okay.
But
we could because like the hitbox doesn't need to be the same as the actual shape of the thing, right?
that's true. I mean, we can rotate it and keep the hitbox as a rectangle. That's true. Yeah.
Or as a circle or whatever.
Or
right?
as a circle,
like
yeah.
whatever would be most appropriate for.
Actually, I think circle would make
shape.
sense because generally, like, you'd miss the corners, right? If you kept the object square,
Yeah.
you'd really be only like, not including those, like, the corners of the square, which would basically work.
Okay, so how do we do a rotating rectangle or square or whatever?
How do we do a rotating square? Yeah, good question. So, processing, like I mentioned before, it's like a state system. So, if you can call rotate,
Okay.
but that actually rotates the entire coordinate system. So if you want to try that and see what it looks like,
Yeah, I want to
think
know.
it's a
I want to know.
Yeah.
Should I just put it in the draw or the update, or should I just put it in the draw? Or
put it in the draw.
Okay, so rotate. How do I do?
And you can throw in like a pi, or like, let's say pi divided by what?
Math.pi, or does it have its own pi?
Yeah, it has its own pi.
Capital or no?
Yeah, it's capital.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, let's see what happens.
Wait, did nothing happen? Was I supposed to do something different?
Do it right before we're doing all our updates in draw.
Sure.
And instead of pi dot 180, I think that is that just
That's 1 degree.
yeah. So yeah, pi divided by 4.
Okay, that's a little more noticeable, isn't it?
Yeah, so we broke it.
There we go. That's not broken. That's perfect. This is great.
That's exactly what we want.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually super trippy though, man. Like, damn. Oh yeah. Okay, that was something else. All right, let's get this back to the way it was. Whoops. Gotta save it. There we go. Oh, now this looks weird to me.
You're used to being rotated just
Oh
ever
yeah.
so slightly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so let's make the paddle. But that's actually kind of cool, eh? Like we could rotate it just like a couple degrees if we wanted to, like rotate it back and forth a few degrees for like a
Oh, yeah,
rumble
yeah.
sort of thing. Oh,
Oh,
can
for
we do
sure.
that?
Yeah, you want to rumble whenever it gets hit or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like how would or would that be too complicated? Because like I want the rumble to persist for like a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So what you can do, so like you, do we want the rumble when it hits the side of the canvas, or do we want the rumble when you hit the ball? What do we
When
want
the ball hits the paddle.
when the ball hits the paddle? Yeah, so we can kind of have like the same idea like what we had before with like the the, the drag, like have like a variable that kind of like slowly like decays,
Yes,
and then we can
exactly.
just do we can do like a sign, pass that into like a sign,
Mm-hmm.
and then do like a translate with that.
Yeah, right. So it would be something like, okay, we have something like this, right? Where it would say rotate. How does it determine the center?
So yeah, so so it's gonna rotate about you know how, yeah, exactly. See how it's rotating about the corner, so the top left?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that's where our coordinate system starts.
Okay.
So everything gets rotated from there,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah. But
Um
we can change that, I'm assuming, right?
yeah, yeah. So we can change that by uh, at this point, I don't know. It like we can certainly do it, but it might mean we're gonna have to like adjust some of the other all the other classes. Um,
That might be
but we
unpleasant,
can
eh?
try it.
Well, let's not worry about that quite yet. For now, we want to do something like this, where we have rotate, and let me turn this down like a whole bunch, like divide by 18 or something like that. Like, even that is more than I think the maximum I'd like to have in here.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So
let's.
okay, so we can so maybe we'll like every time that hit is true that or sorry that we have that function that we're calling, right?
Mhm.
The, um, we can turn a set the variable to like I don't know one, like let's say um, what did you call it, like
Rumbling.
rumble? Yeah. So rumble set to 0, and then in our collision detection between the ball and the paddle,
Mm-hmm.
where's that?
It's right
Yeah.
here.
So let's set rumble to 1. Rumbling.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right.
Okay. And
So
then we want to what decay that, right?
we want
After
to
a while.
decay it, I guess, on every one of these frames, right? So we'll just say rumbling is going to die down. It's going to get multiplied by 0.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that much, 0.9, let's say. And then on each frame, we want to do a rotate, but we want the rotate to happen. Okay, so we want the amount that it rotates to oscillate between, I guess, this and negative this, right? So it should be sine of frame count or whatever times this.
Yeah, we can do the sine of yeah without the e, the sine.
Oh, I didn't even mean to put that in there. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the sine of the frame count.
Yeah. Maybe
So that's
divide by
gonna
10
oscillate.
or something.
Yeah. But no, we have to put the rumbling like in there somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where we-
Multiply the whole thing by it, right? Because if we just if it's
Yeah.
0, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
so is that
rumbling
gonna
like
work?
it's set to 0. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, did you feel it?
It's a bit leggy. Is it rumbling?
Oh man, I felt that. Yeah, it's rumbling pretty serious. Ooh. Okay, but it needs to go faster. So maybe instead of this, we'll divide by like 3 or something like that. Yeah, it needs to rumble more, rumble faster. That's better, but let's make it 2. And I'm thinking probably I'm gonna turn down the like extent of it. Oh yeah, this is
Well, you know
great.
what? You can multiply rumbling by the.
This is
What was
great.
that variable we're using for like when you hit the ball?
Um, oh man. Okay, something in here or
What was it? It like depending on how fast we hit it.
oh well, that was just the dx. Like I'm just taking the dx and the dy of the
Oh yeah,
paddle, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So okay, this rumbling behavior is very good. This is a very good feature. Yeah, this is one of my favorite aspects of the game so far. I think it would be better if we could change the like origin sort of thing, you know, like if we could
Yeah.
change the point of rotation.
Yeah.
But
So we can certainly try that.
okay,
So generally what we want to do is I like moving my origin to like 0 0. I mean, it's not 0 0, but like the center of the canvas.
yeah, that's what I'd like.
So the first thing that we want to do is right before background, do
Yeah,
do a translate.
translate. Okay, sure.
Translate, yeah. It's so it'd be like window width divided by 2.
Yeah, and then
And
window
then
height divided by 2.
yeah, so that's gonna move the origin.
Okay. So if we do that, yeah, that's what I was afraid was going to happen. So we want to translate it back after all this, right? In fact, can we just do the translate? Just like, can we? Yeah, could we do? Does translate move it by this much, or does translate move it to this location?
It's relative, so it moves it by that much.
Okay, so I should just negative these, right? If I want to move them back, kind of thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
now this, and now when it hits, that's it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it, right?
Awesome.
That I think, I think, I think, I think. Let me put this guy right in the center, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh my man, this is perfect. Although, you know, it'd be really perfect
What's that?
if we moved it to the center of the paddle. So instead of like window width and window height, if we made it paddle.x and paddle.y. I mean, technically, what would be perfect is if it was like, or wait, here, let's just make it spaceball. Spaceball.x and spaceball.y, because it has a .x and a .y, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
I think so. Is
Yeah,
it a vector or
completely. Okay, yeah, so we'll do that. And then same thing over here. We'll move it back. Spaceball.x divided by 2. Spaceball.y divided by 2. Yeah, we'll just do that. So, okay, this is good. Looks good. Let's make the collision happen here. Yeah, and the rumble happens there. Okay,
Nice.
so actually, you know what? Let's make it the paddle. Just because otherwise it's going to have like some asymmetry to it. And so this would be good. It should be relative to the player's perspective anyway, right? So, boom! Oh yeah, man, I feel it. But wait. Wait a minute now. I don't know if this is right. Yeah, actually, I don't know if this is right now. This might not be right. Hold on. Should it be like... No, not divided by 2. Just paddle X, paddle Y. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. That's better. Well, hopefully. I think it'll be better. We'll see. I think that's right on. I think that's right on the money. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got a little shaky happening there. Man, you really feel it now. Oh yeah, you feel the impact. Wow. Okay, this is really tripping me out. Okay, good stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I lost control of it. But yeah, this is good stuff. Good stuff. I'm happy with it so far.
Awesome.
The rumbling really adds a new element to it. Okay, so we want to get some guys on the screen now, right? Some friends?
Lots of friends, yeah.
Yeah, we want to get some friends together. Okay, that'll be fun. Can we make our friends do like shooties?
Shooties?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can create like a bullet class.
Yeah, or I don't know. What could they? Okay, so we want something where like
If there are friends, they could be giving us, I don't know, energy,
yeah, presence.
presence.
Hmm. Man, that rumbling is a really cool feature. I think that alone has convinced me of the power of P5 here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? The way it bounces is just so cool. Actually, I am maybe gonna change it to the spaceball location, just so that like if you hit it on the side, then it'll actually like rumble you from that point. You know what I mean? Just because like before when I was testing this, it seemed a little odd, but evidently it was because I had the divided by 2 in there still.
Oh,
Like I want the way it rumbles to maybe depend on like where it hits the paddle. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And because like when the ball collides with, it's gonna take that position, right?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is perfect. Oh. Oh. Masterpiece. What can I say? This is a great game. I just love the rumbling. Okay, cool. So let's get some guys in here. Sorry, that really distracted me, but it's okay. We're back on track now. Okay, so what do we want for our friends?
So we have there's a width and a height but it's not in the constructor.
Yeah, that's a good point. I probably should have those in there.
So we want them, what did we say, as squares?
Let's make them rotating squares, I guess.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
We've done a bit of rotation now, so.
Yeah. So like in our draw function, we can put in like a rect.
With this dot. Which one comes first? Is the X and Y?
X, Y, and then
Okay.
the width and the height.
Okay, cool.
And we probably want to do like a push and a pop.
Oh,
And then
right.
Or some custom colors and stuff for these dudes.
So it's like, would you call that like a style stack or something like that?
Yeah, I guess, you can call it like, I generally like anytime I'm working with like the push and pop, like I refer to it as a stack. The thing with processing is that it uses a push style and a pop style and a push matrix and a pop matrix. So it distinguishes between transformations and styles, whereas P5JS, it just clumps both of the transformations and styles together. So you don't actually have to worry about the doing like two separate things, which I don't know. I prefer doing like a push matrix, pop matrix, push style, pop style, but just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so if it was the Java version, then we would actually need to distinguish between them, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so, great. So we want to do this. Now, I guess we want these guys to have the same sort of aesthetic as the rest of these guys. So we'll say stroke. We'll just make it white for now. Pardon me. And we'll change that after. We'll say stroke weight Did I get it right this time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be 8. And something about rotation. Oh,
Yeah.
and no fill also, just to sort of maintain the aesthetic.
So we can have like an angular velocity
Okay, yeah.
somewhere in the constructor.
So like a spin speed kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Like omega is usually used for angular
Like
velocity.
theta? Or
Theta
yeah,
would be
or
the
for
angle,
angular.
right? But omega.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
let's just call it
Sounds
angular
pretty fun.
velocity. Angular v. Let's call it that. That's clear, right?
Yeah.
Angular v is going to be, I don't know, 4. We'll make it 4. And why don't we draw one of these guys just to make sure everything we have so far is
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right? So, ooh, okay. So this is new. This is new because we have one background, we have one paddle, we have one space ball. We're gonna have multiple friends. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll make a set of these or something like that. Like
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
friends is going to be a new set. And yeah, nothing. And then we'll just add on a friend. So we'll say friends dot add. I was about to say push there. Friends dot add new friend. Where are we going to put that new friend? Well, x and y is 0, 0, I guess, but we'll give it a width and a height. So we'll say it's 30 by 50. New friend. And then I guess what I need to do for these now is like a friends dot for each friend. We're going to have to do a friend dot update and a friend dot draw, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll save that, and there's our friend.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, right up there. Okay. So we probably want to make this so that the x and the y will start as negative whatever the height is, and the x will start as just some random value between something and something. So we'll say random.
Wait, why are we moving it negative height?
So that it starts like kind of off the screen and then comes down from there, sort of thing.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Does that make
Gotcha.
sense? So
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
yeah, we'll have like our guy up here, and then they'll come in from the top, sort of thing.
Cool.
I guess it could probably be negative height divided by 2, but might as well give them a bit of breathing room, sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so this is going to be randomized from width divided by 2 to window width minus width divided by 2, we'll say. Does that make sense? I guess I need a comma in there, right? Did I do this right? The random thing?
So we're setting the x position to width divided by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Like this is just the minimum value, the maximum value, like syntax wise. That makes sense. Okay. Pardon me. Okay, great. So then on our update, maybe we'll just do something like this dot y plus equals 10 or something like that. Am I missing anything, or is that going to work?
Yeah. So we're moving
there we
downwards, right? Yeah.
There they go. Okay. This is good. So that's way too fast, though. So we'll start this off. And there's our friend. Okay, good stuff. So we want to nail that friend with the space ball, is the idea.
Yeah.
I actually sort of like the idea of just having this friend be a rectangle, like a non-rotating rectangle. I think we're probably okay not to rotate our guy.
Yeah.
Oof. So there are a few...
That guy just went right through you.
Yeah. He's a friend. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. I guess we do sort of want to handle collisions, which is maybe what you were alluding to. But anyway, the point is, yeah, I love those rumbles, man. Can we just talk about those for another 15 minutes again? Okay. Anyway, the point is, what I really want, what I really care about right now is the collisions between the space ball and the friend. That's a priority.
Okay.
So what's going to happen when they collide?
What do we want to happen? I don't know.
I want the friend to explode.
Oh, you want the okay. So you just want to remove it from the set.
No, I want it to explode.
Oh, okay. So like an animation.
Yeah. Or something like that, you know? Like, yeah.
Okay.
I want to. What I would really like is for it to split up into a bunch of line segments that rotate around and all go in random directions until they fly off the screen.
Yeah, we can do that. So we can do because we can get the position
Right.
and then construct our
We just make a bunch of little rectangles essentially, right, to represent the line segments, just like 8 by whatever rectangles, just to sort of keep that 8 thickness.
Okay.
So.
I see. Yeah.
But the main thing, I guess, for now anyway, is detecting to see if there actually is a collision there, right? So Spaceball should have something kind of like this, but with friend. Oh, with any of the friends. Yeah,
With
so
any of the friends, yeah.
we need a friends dot for each here as well, eh? Oof.
Which update? This is okay. This is Spaceball. Gotcha.
Now wait a minute. Should it be in the Spaceball update, or should I just put it in the friend update? Like I could just check if the friend is touching the Spaceball. That would alleviate the need for a for each, right? I feel like if friend is doing an update method anyway, they might as well just check to see if they're colliding. So if collide circle rect circle, how did it go? Collide rect circle.
Rect circle, yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna take in. Okay. So this dot x minus this dot width divided by 2. This dot y minus this dot height divided by 2. This dot width, this dot height. Did I get that right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then for the circle, it's going to be Spaceball. Oh, why didn't that autocomplete for me? Is it just because it's not in this file?
Maybe it's not in the file, yeah.
That could be. Okay. Spaceball.x, spaceball.y, spaceball.size, and spaceball.size.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that, then we're going to say something's going to happen. So let me just get that on the next line. Cool. So if this happens, then we're going to say...
We might want to add like a state variable for this, right?
What kind of state?
Well, like if the friend is exploding, we don't want it to explode twice. So we can say like...
I was actually just thinking about like... We could just replace the friend with an explosion.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So an explosion could have like a bunch of pieces, and then like the pieces fly off the screen. Or yeah, something like that. Anyway, for now we'll just do something like this where we say explode. Actually here, let's just say explode. Yeah, that's a little cooler, a little more slang. We're just gonna say friends dot delete this, right? Because what we have in friends is just a bunch of like friend objects, right? So it should be able to find this friend object and delete them, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is this all saved up? This is good. Let's try that. So we want to nail that friend with this space ball. Oof. I don't know if it's going to make it. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's just... Oh, yeah, we got him. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, you get so much control in this game. It's great. I'm just celebrating. Okay, so good. Oh, that almost made a collision right then and there. I think
Oh,
having like
close.
a higher velocity, yeah. Oh yeah, there we
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so tough, man. Having higher velocity is like it puts you at an advantage, but it's also so risky.
Less control.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially if you're not too fast, right? Like if your paddle's not that fast. Then again, if
Yeah.
your paddle's really fast, then you're gonna pass on so much speed to the ballio. Uh, yeah, okay. Hackers of the World Unite says, "Yay, that looks awesome. Love the shaking of the screen," and I agree with you there. About 1,000,000%. Oh no! Oh no! It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Okay, okay. We're in there. We're in there. Okay, we got it. We got it.
Nice.
Good stuff. Okay, that was a bit intense. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We want friends to spawn somewhat regularly, right?
Right.
So we want to do something where like how should we handle that? Like if frame count mod a certain number or something
Yeah.
like that, or
Yeah, I'm thinking we can use frame count. Yeah.
yeah.
It's already defined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Already increases for us and everything.
Right. The question is like,
How often?
well, it's not just that, but like, so frame count is just counting up all the time, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so because of that, yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a risk there because I'm just thinking, like, because I could say if frame count mod 1,000 is equal to 0 or something like that, then make it happen. Or oh, you know what? Okay. Let's do it like this. We could say let friend timer be assigned the value of 1,000, right?
Yeah.
And then on each frame, so in the draw function. Wait, should it be in the draw? Should we have an update for our sketch or what?
Yeah, we could. We'd just be essentially moving like all the update calls into like a function update,
Yeah.
which is generally like, yeah, I mean, it would kind of keep things a bit more clean, I guess.
Well, you seem apprehensive
Not
about it. Is it
not
something you don't
not
recommend?
totally necessary, but
Okay. Well, just because we're getting quite a bit of stuff in the draw right now, you know, just because like it's getting a bit like there's a lot. Maybe I will just move some of these guys out of here. So update, paddle update. Although is that gonna be bad because like
it shouldn't. I mean, like, I mean, our updates shouldn't be tightly coupled to our rendering, right?
you know
So
what?
any kind of
Now that I see this, I don't know. I'm having second
why?
thoughts.
What's wrong with why? What do you see?
I don't like to have to call a for each twice if we don't have to. You know what I mean? Like it would be nice to get it all done in there, but oh well. Okay, so we've got the rumbling thing happening. Let's get this over here. Actually, yeah, should we make it totally black, the background?
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
was what
that's
was set at like
that's
60 or
super
something?
intense. But it's not working anymore, so it doesn't
Yeah, we
seem to
have
be
to call
updating at
update.
all. Oh, where? In draw?
I usually call it in draw, yeah, just before background. So line 27, just make a new line and yeah,
Just like
it's
this,
called
eh?
update. Yeah. So it's essentially doing the same thing, but keeping things a bit more modular.
Yeah, I don't know if in some ways I regret this, but oh well, we could always change it back, right? Okay, so now what were we gonna do is this, right? Friend timer. So this is what I was thinking, okay? We could do
Okay.
something like
Yeah.
this in the update. We could say friend timer minus equals frame count, right? And then we'll say if friend timer is less than 0, then we're going to spawn a new friend. So we're going to say friends dot add a new guy, new friend.
Yeah.
Okay. And we need to call that with some dimensions, right? So
Right.
we'll make this one like a lot wider, like 75, and a lot thinner. So, or a bit thinner, 25. Yeah, we'll do that. And eventually we'll make that a random thing, which will be fun.
Right.
Okay. So we'll do
And then
that. And then, oh, and another thing we
you
want
said
to.
friend timer.
Yes, exactly. You read my mind. Okay, so friend timer goes back to 1,000 now. Let's try that. Okay, so we have our initial friend. Okay, so I'm
Oh my
thinking
God,
maybe
it's so
1,000 is not enough, or actually I don't know. This is kind of fun. Oh yeah, man, this is great. So should the idea be that you have to clear all of these guys, or okay, let's make that 10,000 and see if that maybe helps a bit. Maybe we should give them sort of a random speed as well. That might be fun, right? Wait, I see almost no difference.
So frame count, yeah, it starts at 0 and increases per frame. And we have
Oh,
the
right,
timer.
right. What I should be doing is, yeah, right, yeah, okay. I get why this madness is happening. Yeah, because frame count keeps increasing, right? So what I should be doing is like something sort of more like frame count
Oh,
minus the previous one, or something like that. Geez, how do we want to do this? It could just be something that like, oh yeah, well like I could just say last frame count, like let last frame, be
yeah.
0 or something like that,
Yeah,
and
I had a
then
question. Well,
sure.
so what's the difference between using this and like doing a mod?
My worry with the mod is that since frame count is going to go up by what, like 17 at a time or something like that.
No, frame count
Oh, it goes
will
up one
only
at a time.
yeah, so it only goes up one per frame. Yeah.
Well then, yeah, good suggestion. Okay, so we'll say if frame count. So I thought it was, yeah, that's my mistake. So I thought it was counting up by like the number of milliseconds that happen per frame. And so,
There is a like a millis function call, but if we're
okay,
not using that, that's we can totally just use frame count. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, cool. So frame count mod 1,000 if, or maybe it's not every 1,000 frames because 60 frames a second, right? We want maybe a guy per second, so we'll say mod 60 is 0. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then friend timer is equal to 1,000.
that's a little more reasonable, I think, eh? We don't even need a friend timer if we're just doing
Yeah,
it
we
via
can get rid of
mods,
that.
right?
Yeah, this is more reasonable.
Okay, so no friend timer necessary. But what we
It's
might
looking good.
change is this. So let's make this a random that goes from, let's say, 20 to 100. And then same with this. Random 20 to 100. Is there a way to change the distribution of random, or is it always going to be linearly distributed?
Oh, the distribution. That's a good question. Um,
Thanks,
I
man.
actually don't know what kind of distribution they're using.
It's probably linear, though, or
I have to
uniform,
check.
whatever they call it. Let's
Yeah.
speed this up. Okay, so should something happen if like you collide with a friend, or like if a friend hits the bottom of the screen or something like that?
Sorry, I'm just looking at the documentation. There's a random Gaussian,
Whoa.
which I actually I'm not that familiar with this. And random Gaussian takes a mean
I'm guessing you're not talking
and
about
let's see.
blurs.
No, no. And then there's also, yeah, I've always called random and just use that, which is, I'm just really curious about this now, sorry.
Hey, no worries.
It doesn't make reference to what kind of, I don't even know if it's, I think it is pseudo-random. It's probably, I would imagine it's pseudo-random based on the seed, which we
Hmm.
can change the seed. But yeah, this is a cool function, random Gaussian. I want to take a look at that later. Because it does take a distribution and it's a bit different. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Let's give our friends a color. let's forget about angular velocity. I feel like I got my rotation fixed just by doing the rumbling.
Just by the rumble.
Yeah, and plus they look cool like this, like just these kind of cool little rectangle guys. I'm thinking I might want to make their border radius the same as our hero's border radius.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So
Keep it consistent.
yeah, I'll try making that 15. I'm just worried that it's going to make some of these look super weird. Yeah.
Oh, if they're
Is it too big?
small?
Yeah, it's probably too big, eh? Wait, friend is not defined?
Oh,
What did I do?
you have a this dot at line 7.
Oh, sorry. Here. Yeah. Jeez. Okay, this dot color is, I don't know, something. We'll say, wait, how do we do colors? Like, because I know we can just put
We
in
can
like,
split up the components into like an RGB.
oh, right, that's probably a smart idea. Okay, nice, good thinking. So we'll just randomize it here. We'll just say random, and it's gonna go from 100 to 200, let's say. This dot G. It's a smart thinking, man. Good stuff. 100, 200, and this dot B is random. 100, 200. Cool. That's good. And then, so no fill, but yeah, stroke. Then we can just say this dot R, this dot G, and this dot B. Whoops. What did I hit there? Okay. Nice.
Oh, those are looking good.
Yeah, they're looking real tasty.
They look like my Flintstone vitamins that I used to take when I was a kid.
Yeah, a couple of Bam Bams and Betty Rubbles in there.
Oh man, they're the best.
Yeah, Flintstones vitamins were one of my favorite candies as a kid.
Candies. This is pretty cool.
I'm liking it. I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh god, it just gets too intense. Okay, so something we might want to do, at least at some point, is have some power-ups, right?
Cool. What were you thinking?
I was thinking something that could change the size of your paddle.
Ah, okay, cool.
I was thinking something that would change the speed of your paddle.
Okay.
I was thinking of something that maybe changes the size or shape of your space ball.
Cool. So I'm wondering how. So would like, I mean, if we gave an attribute to one of the friends,
Yeah?
we can actually set like a fill on it, so like you know that there's a power up associated with it.
Ah, cool. Yeah. So then when you destroy the friend, the power up would be released.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Okay, and then you can collect the power up after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay, let's do that. So we'll say this dot power up. And how should we handle this? So should we just make it like a word that represents what style of power up it is, or
We can. Well, if we create another class,
yeah?
we can assign it. So we can do like a random, like whatever, 1 to 100, and if it's, or sorry, 1 to 10, let's say, and if it's like equal to 1, then the power up is going to equal to new class.
But
And
like,
then-
but yeah, I mean the most of them will not have a power up. That's my thing, right? So like,
yeah.
if it doesn't have a power up, then yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is assign it null,
Okay, yeah.
and then if whatever, if some random number is like satisfied some value, then give it assign it a power up. So
Right.
like this is like a new power up.
So here we would say like spawn the power up, maybe, right? If it has one, like so we would say, and this is like the death thing here, right?
Right. Yeah.
So at this point, the power up would be created. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay, you want to like lazily instantiate it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter either way.
But, well, I'm just thinking, like, okay, how about this? Like, we could instantiate it up here, But then at this point we could like add it to the power-ups like set or something like that. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Or you know what though? I think it would make sense to just instantiate it at the moment of our friends explode, because we sort of want it to be just like with our friends. We sort of want it to be something that's like updating and drawing. Oh, but I guess that wouldn't happen unless we're telling it to, right? Like that would only happen. Yes, that would make sense if we. Yeah, okay. This makes sense. So const power ups is going to be this new set over here, and it's going to do something. So it's going to start out empty, and we'll add to the power up set here. So we'll say if this dot power up, then
Right,
power ups dot add power up. You know, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna do like a new power up inside the ad? Like, what's that?
What I was thinking is that power up. Sorry, not just power up. This dot power up. What I'm thinking is we'll do the new power up here, right?
Gotcha,
Maybe,
yeah.
you know, if like,
Yeah, yeah.
So how do I do this? Like if I just do random 0, 10 there, is this for all intents and purposes? Is this just going to be a floating point value now?
Yeah, yeah. We'd have to like seal it or something.
Yeah, let's seal the deal.
Seal the deal.
Okay, so math.seal of that. If it's, well, no, we don't have to seal it. We just say if it's greater than 9, right? Doesn't matter if it's being sealed or not. Wouldn't make a difference.
Okay. Yeah, true,
right?
true. Yeah.
We just say,
yeah.
is this thing greater than 9? And if so, then we're going to say new power up, which we haven't defined yet, but we will at some point. And otherwise, we'll just say null, I guess. Does that make sense? Is that kind of like, is that sloppy or is that okay?
I don't know. I think it's all right.
You approve? All right. That's all I care about. Okay. Here's something. So let's make these. I'm just going to add like a 55 onto these just because I think I could use brighter guys. They're looking a little gloomy.
A bit gloomy.
Yeah, a little bit gloomy. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Wait, what just happened?
Oh, power up isn't defined.
Yeah, it's like, what? What do you want me to do with that? I'll give you 1 second of gameplay. You get 1 second, that's it. Wait, but now it's fine? I didn't feel like I changed anything. Oh, because it's waiting for one that's greater than 9, right? And then it's like, no. I'm sorry, but no. Okay, let's make I'll put it here for now, but class power up. What's your feeling on this, Andor? Would you like to see a capital U, or would you prefer it to not have a capital U?
Oh man, I like it lowercase actually.
Okay, sounds good to me. All right, so power up, we're gonna have a constructor, and it's gonna take in, I guess, just nothing for now, and we'll give it like a random type for at some point, but. This needs an update and a draw as well. Okay, so for the draw, we should give it some kind of appearance. So let's make it something that's going to be like really attention grabbing. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make it like flash or something like that.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, flash some sort of psychedelic colors.
Some psychedelic colors, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, just in terms of timing, like I don't want to keep you too late or anything like that. What are you thinking timeline wise?
I think actually it looks like the cafe is closing in like 20 minutes. I totally forgot.
Okay,
the cafe
that
closed.
works for me. That works for me. We'll do I guess like 15 more minutes or something like that. That'll give us a nice round 3-hour broadcast, so that'll be good. Okay, so we'll do this probably as our last thing then, unless you have any other suggestions.
Me or?
Yeah, you
anyone
or
else?
anyone else.
Oh. I'm okay with a power up. Yeah.
Cool. So,
hey, do you post this on like your GitHub, or where do you end up like putting your?
That's usually the way to do them. Yeah. This is probably the most proper thing that we've built. So Yeah, I would probably put it up there. That's kind of my plan, I would say. Whoa, okay, thanks, man. Appreciate you letting me know of that right now. Okay, cool. Let's continue with this. So, what do we have here? So we've got a constructor, we've got our update. I guess we're gonna have like this dot type, which
Yeah, that's
for
what
now,
I'm thinking.
let's just call it speed up.
String makes sense. Yeah.
Speed up. For now, we'll just make them all speed ups. And this dot update. Oh, we're gonna need an x and a y. This dot x is. Ooh, how should we do this? Now that I'm thinking about it, would it make more sense to just instantiate it here because we already have the x and the y that we want it to have?
Yeah.
That might make more sense, eh? So instead of a new power up, we'll just say, okay, this is much better. We'll just do this. This dot power up is just going to be this thing. So then if this dot power up, then we'll just add a new power up, which is going to take in this dot x and this dot y. Yeah. This dot x is going to be x, and this dot y is going to be y, and both those are going to be in the constructor over here, x and y.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you need a lot of time to like pack up and go and stuff like that? Because just let me know like if you need to leave at any point, eh?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know. It's fine.
Sounds good. So this dot y plus equals 1, let's just say. We'll make it just go down this screen nice and slow. And we want to make it so that like if eaten or if off screen, delete.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll have to distinguish between the two because if it's eaten, then you get the power up. If it's not, then you don't.
Yeah. So we'll have to do some collation.
Actually, wait, are we despawning our friends? We're not, eh?
We're not. No.
We should probably do that, I
Just
think.
endlessly floating around in space.
Yeah, just like way down there. Okay, so if this dot y minus this dot height divided by 2 is greater than, what was it? Window width? Window height.
Yeah, window height, yeah.
Window height. Then despawn. So we're going to say friends dot delete this.
I love that delete function, eh? It's so nice.
It's so
like
nice.
I remember like just having to iterate over the like an array and being like, oh man.
Yeah, or splice or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice to have
bad
that.
times.
Oof. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. All right, so what do we have here? Should we make it like a circle or could we make it a pentagon?
Yeah, we can do a few lines. Yeah, we can do a polygon.
Is that too difficult or like could it be done easily?
Can be done easily. Probably not in the amount of time that we have.
Let's not worry about it then. Let's just make it a circle or a rectangle. What's your vote?
Probably a circle.
You got it. So, ellipse, right?
Yeah.
And we want to give it this dot x, this dot y.
Yeah.
And then a size, I guess, which I'll just say 30 pixels or 20, 30? Yeah, 30. Okay. So stroke is going to be 8 as usual. Stroke weight is the thing I meant to say is going to be 8. And stroke is going to be some kind of fancy color. So this is where we want it to kind of flash, right?
Right.
So we'll give it an RGB, which will be like, wait, not random. We want it to be like sine of frame count or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sine of frame count, and we'll say like 100 times that plus 100 or plus 155, and then 120. Let's just do that for now.
Yeah.
So we'll have that. Okay, cool. Is that gonna work? Oh, we should make it. So, okay, we'll do this.
Are we rendering them?
Sorry?
Are we rendering them? Like, are we rendering them in our render function?
That's a great question, and the answer is no. So, can I do this though before we get to that? So
Yeah, of
if
course.
this dot power up, yeah, well, what I meant is, am I allowed to do this? So like, can I say fill and otherwise no fill?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
That's allowed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool. So we'll say fill
It's allowed.
255. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh that, let that run for just a sec, just to see if we do get any visitors that have those, and then I'm going to change this so that we have a power-up stop for each as well. It's basically going to be the same sort of thing. So power-ups dot for each, power-up, we want it to power-up dot update. And then same thing downstairs, we want to draw them all, right? So we'll put that here. Draw. Okay, cool. So we haven't encountered any guys carrying power-ups yet. Maybe I should like lower the standard or something.
Lower the standard.
Yeah. Yeah, increase the chance. That's a better way of saying it, I think. Yeah, because it doesn't really feel like it's happening. So, okay, if this is greater than 2, let's say, so it should happen almost all the time. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's just that it was too unlikely, I guess, before. Let's see what happens if we destroy one of these guys. Oh, look at that!
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Shouts out to Metroid. This is great. Okay. Good stuff.
Man, he's really chipping out, eh?
Oh yeah, big time. Okay, so let's bring this back to 9. Yeah, because this will have values that will go up that high, right? Yeah, clearly. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now it's like all that's like tons of them now. They've like all got power-ups. Okay. So now we just need to collect the power-up, and one more thing actually. So where is our power-ups thing? No fill is what I want. No fill. Cool. So then, yeah, for each power-up, we'll if eaten or if off-screen delete. So the off-screen is easy. This dot y minus 30 or whatever it is. Yeah, if this dot y minus 30. Yeah, I'm just gonna hard code it for now.
I actually didn't know you could. You're using only you're only using 3 arguments in ellipse. I didn't know you can do that.
Oh, like as opposed to putting another 30 in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, good to know. Delete this. Yeah. And then if eaten, we're going to do the same sort of thing. So we're going to say if, and this is where we need to do a collision thing, right? So I'm just going to copy this because it's, I think, going to be pretty similar. So if this paddle x minus paddle y, this dot size. Except there's no this dot size. I might as well just put that in there. This dot size is going to be 30, we'll say. And then we'll make that this dot size down there. Okay, cool. So if that happens, then we're going to eat the power up. So main thing is we're going to say power ups dot delete this. Okay. Try that. We'll get this going. And come on, we need a power up.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. There's
There
one. We've been waiting for you. Okay. And now I need to make sure I keep that guy. Okay, so we are eating it successfully. That worked. Whew. It's a lot to manage. All right, and then we want to do something where, in this case, we delete the power up, but then also we say something like paddle.speed, right? Plus equals something. And actually, what we should probably do is have a method for this, right? Like paddle.speedup, where it increases its
Oh, okay.
speed, right? So speed up by how much? We're gonna
How
say
much?
this dot speed plus equals how much? Okay, so then we'll just say paddle dot speed up by 1. Yeah, let's try
That
that.
makes sense.
Okay, cool. So is everyone happy with this then? Let's find out. Is that gonna get it? Oh no.
Oh, close, man.
Yeah. Oh, come on. All right, that'll work.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now we're real fast, and we can make we can make the ball really fast. Oh, too fast! It's too much power. Okay.
Too much fast.
Yeah, we should maybe make that a 0.5. Keep it a little more reasonable. Anyway, I think we're at a good stopping point here. What do you think?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get kicked out anyway soon. But,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm actually surprised we managed to get quite a bit done.
Oh, dude, we're killing it. I guess we should make it so that like you can't touch the friends or something like that, because you really should be keeping your hands to yourself. So yeah, for next time we can think about that. But like I think this is at a good point where like we explored a little bit of I would say all the elements I wanted to cover. I think this was good in terms of like how much we have to work with from here, you know, like if we did want to continue this stuff, I think there's a lot we could modify, like in terms of how the gameplay works, but I think we sort of have an idea of how we would do that, you know, like the tools we would use. So I got to give you props, man. I mean, thanks a lot for all your help. Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh man, yeah, thanks for having me. And actually, I'm really glad I joined because there's a bunch of stuff that I learned, which is really awesome.
Oh, perfect. That's always ideal when both people can learn something. I think I probably learned more than you did. But anyway, is there anything else you wanted to say? Anything you wanted to plug or any announcements you wanted to make while you're here?
Yeah, if anyone wants to follow me, I have an open processing like account where I like post some like visualizations and stuff. Not always interactive, just usually just kind of like trippy visuals that I like working on.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just really glad to be able to be part of this stream. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Here it is. Right?
Yeah, this is just some random stuff that I've been working on. Some of them, most of it's 2D. I have some 3D stuff. Just one inspiration strike. So kind of like mess around with code here and there. I generally like working with just things I want to learn, and then I'll hack things out.
You mind if I post a link to that?
No, not at all. Not at all. Go
Cool.
ahead. Yeah. Thank you.
So there we go. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Pat.
And yeah.
Hopefully do another one sometime.
Hey, yeah, I would welcome you back. So
Awesome.
good luck getting out of that cafe there. And my apologies to the owner or whoever might be upset with you right now. And
No, they're fine. They
yeah.
know me here.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for all the knowledge, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
later.
Yeah. Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, nice job, everyone. I think we did. I think we did a pretty nice job. I think we made it pretty far in terms of creating our fresh new game over here. I love the rumbling. We'll maybe want to change the way like the power-ups look. That white fill is kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe if we could make it like flash or something like that. TBH, I'm thinking some of these random colors, we should maybe make it draw from like a set of nice colors or something like that, because there's no guarantee that these are all going to look nice together. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy with this. I'll put this up on the GitHub, so yeah, you guys can play around with it if you want. And let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything. I think we're going to cut the stream in like about a minute or something like that. But yeah, if anyone has any questions about the discussion we just had, let me know. I think that was fun. I feel like we learned a lot. So we can continue this at a later date. Add some more features, maybe have like a score keeper. Maybe we'll make like the the friends travel at different rates as well. That might be a fun thing to include. Still didn't get the ball to sort of tunnel through the paddle, but I guess that's a good thing. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up there. So, oh, and I guess we can get rid of that. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. I guess tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll be doing some codefights.com stuff. It's been a little while, so yeah, we'll jump back into the arcade, the core, and see where we're at. As for now, I hope you all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to believe in yourself. Anything's possible. I'll see you later. I love you all very much. Bye.